screen first.
We are live on YouTube.
Awesome. All right, and we're going to go ahead and record, and then we'll get started with our reading of the Star Wars. I should say. All right, record. We'll record it. All right, so welcome to our Table Read Tuesday script reading of The Star Wars by George Lucas. This is a 1974 version. The original film came out in 1977, so there was 3 years between this draft and the final product, and it shows. If you ever think of like an adult and you think you see baby pictures of them, sometimes, you can see like hints of the baby picture in the full-grown adult. Well, this script, it's more like not even in the womb, baby. This is like twinkle in the daddy's eye, right? That's how far back it is from the adult version of the final product. So you will see some names that you'll recognize, but they may not be the same characters from the movies. So for example, there is a Luke Skywalker in the script, but he's not an 18-year-old from Tatooine. He's a 60-year-old general in the Republic. So just one example. So it's kind of like, for those of you who are really big Star Wars fans, my best advice for you is this is a different movie, right? You cannot expect to see your final and your favorite scenes from the final version because they don't exist. In fact, about maybe 5% of the dialogue in the script makes it into the final version. So that gives you another clue. It's kind of like when you have one of those dreams, where you like dream you're in your house from your childhood, but the house is in a different state or even a different country, and your parents are there and your brothers and sisters are there, but their names are all changed and they don't look like your parents. They are, but they don't look like them. They don't sound like them. So, just take it with a grain of salt. This is an interesting script because it is so different from the original. But as you're reading through it, you might have to read through it a couple of times or watch it a couple of times to really get a feel for how this one becomes Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. So this particular version is the first kind of fully fleshed rough draft. He did submit a 1.5-page sort of story idea called The Journal of the Wills, which nobody understood, so he scrapped it and tried again. And then he put in like another 1.5-page sort of synopsis, and Disney rejected it. Some other film studios rejected it. Several film studios rejected it until finally, the one studio did actually go ahead and accept it. So it was very, Universal, United Artists, they turned it down. Century Fox finally greenlit it, so he had a chance to work on it. But between this and the final product, there were at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 other totally revised versions. So not just like a simple little, edit, and we'll change a couple lines here, but 5 fully revised versions. So keep that in mind as we read. And so we're going to go through right now and introduce who's playing who, and you'll have an idea from giving their character names how different the script might be. But I'm just going to go down sort of in player order on our cast list, and I'll just ask each person to say their name, their pronouns, where they're at in the world, and who they are playing today. They may be playing more than one character. And then also, if they would like to share where you can find them on social media, you are certainly welcome to share that as well. So I'll put all that in the chat. But we'll go ahead and start with Mike, because he's
Mike Russo. I will be playing General Skywalker, the 60-year-old man, which is cool because I'm 64, so it's right in the age range. I'm in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. My pronouns are English, basically. I don't speak anything else. If you want to find me on social media, you can go to my website. That's probably the best. That's www.merusso.com.
Awesome. All right. Let's go down to player 2, who is Vicky.
Hi, I'm Vicky Dykes. I live in Penhold, Alberta, way up in Canada. Things are lovely and warm here now. My pronouns are she, her. and I will be playing Kane Starkiller. There's a name you weren't expecting. I will be a doctor, and I'm doing a couple of sections of actions and descriptions. And I'm missing something.
Social media?
Oh, that's it. I'm on Facebook under the name Vicky Dykes. I'm also on Instagram. I'm Yoga Grandma 10, and I'm also on Threads, Yoga Grandma 10.
Awesome. Let's see. Player 3 is Aubrey, who's running a little bit late, so we're going to skip down to Dana.
My name is Dana, pronouns they, them. I am in Central Texas. I will also be doing some of the actions and descriptions, and I will be playing Captain Bale Antilles, Count Sandage, Devil 4, who's a rebel pilot. I'm assuming that's maybe their call number, and then Dr. Blooderoy.
Yep.
Looking forward to it. I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are, but that's
Yep. Most of our cast are reading this cold too, so they'll interesting to see how they come up with their characters. Let's see here. Let's go down to Heather is next, player 5.
Hello, my name is Heather Lee Cameron. I'm an act. Is there a problem?
What?
The noise.
I don't hear anything, Heather. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Heather Lee Cameron. I'm an actor and a writer and an independent filmmaker. I live in Lethbridge, Alberta. I'm represented by Faces of Wendy. Tonight, I'm from Lethbridge, Alberta. Tonight, I'll be playing Anakin Starkiller, Grand Moff Tarkin, Prince Valorum, and Devil 6. I absolutely love Star Wars. I dressed up for all 3 of the sequel trilogy movies, and it would be amazing to be in a Star Wars movie someday. Are you listening, Disney? My socials are Heather Lee Cameron, Heather Lee Freelancer on Facebook, The Storm and Latter-day Saints on YouTube, and Heather Lee Cameron on Instagram. But oh yes, and on TikTok, I'm also on TikTok. I do a lot on TikTok lately, just because TikTok's cool. You can actually post like short movies there. So I do a lot of that. Yeah, TikTok. I am definitely on there, and I'm just trying to pull that up. I'm the Storm and Latter-day Saint on TikTok as well.
All right. Was that all?
Yes, yes, and I can be reached at heather.lee.cameron@gmail.com. If you have work for me, if you just want to chat, just reach out to any of my socials or email me. I'm very happy to be here.
All right. Thanks,
Pronouns
Heather.
are she, her.
All right. We're going to skip player 6 because she's not here yet, and we're going to go down to player 7, JC.
Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is JC Gomez. My pronouns is they, them. I'm from Manila, Philippines, and I am playing the role of first officer, bureaucrats, Biggs, Mirnash, and C3PO. You can follow me on my 2 Instagram account. I have 2 Instagram accounts. One is my personal page, JC Gomez Official, and number 2 is the official Instagram page of my podcast, The JC Gomez Show. And I want to tell you that I am also a playwright who wrote short plays also. And that's it.
All right. Thanks, JC. And just so you know, your officer shows up 3 times, and each time it's a totally different character. So, but they all have the same name, so I thought I'd give them all to you. All right. Chris.
Hello. Happy late May the 4th be with you today. Yesterday, but on it. Summers. I'll be playing Check 1, Controller. A Davos, PA, R2, without the beepy noise, like the actual human language in the script. And Commander. I love Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan at the beginning. My dad for sure me them, growing up. I'm happy to be living the world now with Andor and Maul the Shadow Lord, that we're getting Gustavus back again, and not Acolyte everything else we got to lately. But you find me here, there. My name is Christia, pronoun he, his. Location, Fairfield, Connecticut. And social media, Facebook, Twitter, Letterboxd, where I do a lot of my reviews. I review a lot of movies, and I go through a lot. Not just one right now. And everywhere else. So happy to be here with you guys.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Let's go down to Patty, player 9.
Hi, I'm Patty. This is my first time here. I had a play reading group during the pandemic and loved it. So I'm not like an actor or anything. I'm just a school teacher. She, her are my pronouns. I live in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So I'm in the Eastern time zone. So I'm probably here till about 10:30 because that is when my bedtime. So I will be here until then. I'm playing Whitsun, Pilot, Wyndham, aka Windy, Prue, Queen, Braha, the phone voice, and the pilot leader.
Yes. And as far as you say you're not an actor, I say school teachers are some of the
Yeah,
best
it's
in the world.
improv every day. Yep.
Absolutely. All right. Katie.
Okay, I'm Katie Johnstone, pronouns she, her. This is also my first time. I'm looking forward to it. I'm located on Vancouver Island on the west coast of Canada, and I'm playing 5 characters. I'm Deke Starkiller, who is 10 years old. I'm Emperor Cos Dashet, Captain Montross, I'm an aide, and also Devil 3.
Yep, a rebel pilot. Did you want to share any social media, or are you good?
Honestly,
That's fine. Some folks like to be more private, and that's just fine. Paul, where is
Hi, everybody.
There's Paul.
I'm Paul Vanning. This is also my first time with this particular group, and I am glad to be here. My pronouns are he, him. I live in Carbondale, Illinois, southern part of the state. The characters I'm playing are Darth Vader, King Kays, a chief, Devil 2, a trooper or stormtrooper, and a guard. And on social media, you can find me under my name, Paul Vanning, on Facebook. I do use Facebook Messenger a fair amount.
All right, sounds good. And then Aubrey's still not here, but she said she will be here, so I'll give you a quick introduction for her. She's doing some of the actions and descriptions, and then playing Governor Hodak, Devil 5, and Sergeant, who is a stormtrooper. And then Helena looks like she's not showing up, so I'll take her parts. So I'm Kat Wilson, she, her pronouns, in Gig Harbor, Washington, a little bit south of Katie, maybe about 3 hours and a border crossing. And then so I'm playing Vantis Cole, Princess Leia, who's 14 in the script, Attache, and the pilot leader's navigator. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and share our screen here. If folks are reading actions and descriptions, do try and pay attention to the scene numbers because they are listed in the script there. I'll try to remind you when we're switching who's doing actions and descriptions, but and if you don't know who's the scene numbers, just kind of pay attention because the scene changes will happen in the middle of a page. They're almost never at the end or the top of the page. So with that, I'll get my script up here so you can all see it. Come on, open up. Here we go. Let's see, script, share. Sec there. All right, can you all see that okay? Is that an okay size for the text? Is
It just says your screen sharing, but there we go.
Mhm.
that an okay size? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So if you're not in a scene, I recommend you mute. You don't have to, but I recommend it. And then try to unmute before you come in. And we'll go ahead and get started here with, looks like Mike is going to take us off with actions and descriptions.
Okay. Space. A sea of stars is broken by the vast blue surface of the planet Utapau. 5 small moons slowly drift into view from the far side of the planet. The main titles are followed by a roll-up. Until recently, the Great Rebellion, the Jedi Bendu were the most feared warriors in the universe. For 100,000 years, generations of Jedi perfected their art as the personal bodyguards of the Emperor. They were the chief architects of the invincible Imperial Space Force, which expanded the Empire across the galaxy, from the celestial equator to the farthest reaches of the Great Rift. Now these legendary warriors are all but extinct. One by one, they have been hunted down and destroyed as enemies of the new Empire by a ferocious and sinister rival warrior sect, the Knights of Sith. The small silver spacecraft emerges from behind one of the Utapu moons. The deadly little fighter craft speeds past several of the moons until it finally goes into orbit around the fourth moon. Wasteland, fourth moon, Utapau. A harsh gale blows across the bleak gray surface of the fourth moon. The leaden sky presses down on a lone figure, Anakin Starkiller, a tall, heavy-set boy of 18. He slowly makes his way across the canyon floor. The heavy winds whip at him and make the going extremely difficult. His face is covered by a breath mask and goggles. He stops for a second to adjust the shoulder strap in his chrome multiple laser rifle. Something in the sky catches his eye, and he instinctively grabs a pair of electro binoculars from his belt. He stands transfixed for a few moments, studying the heavens, then turns and rushes back in the direction from which he came. Supply hut, fourth moon, Utapau. A spacecraft, half buried in the dust, rests next to the remains of an abandoned supply shack. Anakin makes his way across the colorless landscape and rushes into the crumbling building. The interior of the hut is shabby, but manages to abate the howling winds. Seated in front of a thermoheater are Anakin's father, Kane, and his young brother, Deke. Kane is a large, burly man wearing the distinctive robes of a Jedi. Deke is 10 years old, with dusty blonde hair and a large scratch on his cheek. Anakin slams the door and removes his gear. His ruggedly handsome face is caked with many layers of dust.
Dad, Dad, they found us.
Deke looks up from a small cube he has been studying. His father whacks him across the shoulder with a braided wire connector.
Continue with the problem. Your concentration is worse than your brother's. How many?
Only one this time. A band of 4.
Good. We may not have to repair this old bucket after all. Prepare yourselves.
Me too.
Do you have the answer?
I think it's the Corbett dictum. What is without.
Kane smiles. This is the correct answer. Anakin is strapping on a utility belt with chrome laser pistols and laser sword. Kane rises and starts for his equipment.
Pop?
Deke, do you feel you're ready?
Yes, sir. I've outmarked Anakin in 12 disciplines. I'm as good.
All right, son. Get your gear.
Deke jumps with the enthusiasm available only to a 10-year-old and grabs his gear. His father frowns and shakes his head. Wasteland Bluff, fourth moon, Utapau. Kane Starkiller and his 2 sons carefully make their way up a rock bluff overlooking the parked Silver Sith spacecraft. I'm saying that 5 times fast. Kane inspects the craft with his electro binoculars.
No tracks. Bylock hasn't been opened. Interior systems are still on.
Are we going to wait for him to come out?
He's not in there. He's baiting us. I'm surprised they only sent 1 this time. We must be wearing them down. Or they must think this night is something special. Stay on guard and keep hidden. I'm going to work my way across the ridge and call his bluff. Better we meet in open combat than wait for him to ambush us. Keep your guard.
Kane leaves his 2 sons and moves off along the obscured ridge. Anakin and Deke watch him intently. Anakin throws down his multiple laser rifle in disgust.
He should have let me go with him. He's getting too old to make an open challenge.
He's not too old to realize you just get in the way.
Anakin ignores his little brother's remark and sneaks a look over the ridge at the Sith spacecraft. Kane moves out of the rocks some distance away and starts toward the starship. Deke moves to the ridge, next to his brother, his chrome laser rifle sparkling in the reflected light of Utapau.
He is making his move.
Watch your guard and cover that weapon. It shines like a beacon.
Deke reluctantly moves away and watches the other direction. Kane has almost reached the Sith spacecraft, and still there is no sign of its occupant.
What's happening?
Nothing. I don't like it.
Kane carefully moves to the main hatch of the starship. He kicks a valve and the hatch drops open with a loud clank and rushing gas. Anakin becomes more tense as his father carefully moves inside the spacecraft. Everything is still. Even the continual winds seem to have died down. Moments pass with no sign of activity inside the enemy starship. Anakin watches the craft with his electro binoculars. The waiting becomes unbearable.
Something's happened. He's been in there too long.
Let me look. Stand my guard.
Deke takes the electro binoculars from his brother and studies the silent spacecraft. Anakin impatiently scans the opposite horizon.
I think the power just went off. We'd better wait here until someone comes out.
What if he needs help?
The power went back on again.
With the aid of the electro binoculars, Deke watches the running lights of the starship flash on and off. Suddenly, something huge moves in front of his field of view. Before either of the two young boys can react, a large, sinister Sith warrior in black robes and a face mask looms over them. He carries a long laser sword which cuts young Deke down before he or his brother are able to raise their weapons. The startled Anakin backs away in horror, then settles down and ignites his laser sword, which creates an eerie red glow. He stumbles over rocks as he attempts to avoid the charging Sith Knight. The evil warrior swings his mighty laser sword, but Anakin manages to deflect the intended death blow. Finally, Anakin is able to assume a defensive stance, and the two warriors stand, sizing up each other. The Black Knight is at least 7 feet tall and dwarfs the young Jedi. They stand for a few moments, almost frozen. Then, in a flurry of blows, laser swords clash with the sound of electric snapping and popping. Anakin is barely able to hold his own against the experienced knight. Many blows are exchanged before the Sith warrior is able to back Anakin up against a deep crevasse. Anakin stumbles and almost falls over the cliff to his death. The Black Knight suddenly senses something behind him and whirls around to face Anakin's father, Kane Starkiller, a Jedi Bandu master. The Sith warrior raises his laser sword, but is cut in two before he can bring it down again. Kane moves to the fallen Black Knight and studies him carefully. Anakin, still a little wobbly from the whole experience, attempts to stand. Kane sees his dead son Deke and goes to him. He lifts him into his arms and begins to weep. Anakin stands bewildered, watching his father cradle his dead brother. Interior Sith Starship, Wasteland Canyon, Utapau. Kane Starkiller slides into one of the 4 seats of the small Sith starship. Through the front viewing canopy, he watches Anakin drag his younger brother's body to a small crevasse. Anakin places a small locket around his brother's neck, makes a complicated sign with his hand, and dumps the body into the shallow depression. The giant engines of the spacecraft begin to whine, kicking up large clouds of dust. Anakin climbs into the seat beside his father and removes his breath mask and goggles. There are tears in his eyes. Father and son look across the wasteland toward Deke's grave. The thunderous clap of an explosion is followed by a small mushroom cloud rising out of the depression. Anakin throws a container down in a fit of rage.
How many more of them are there? I want to finish it once and for all. I'm sick of running. When will it stop?
Anakin's father waits silently until his son's tirade is finished. Anakin sits silently for a few moments.
I'm sorry.
Dean? Vicky?
Oh, son, plot a course for Aquilay.
Anakin lights up like a bantha at feeding time.
Aquilay, You mean we're going home?
We both need a rest.
Kane pulls back on the throttle, and the powerful spaceship lifts off of the surface of the fourth moon of Utapa.
Cloud Sea, Alderaan. A title card appears over a sea of billowing clouds on the gaseous plain of Alderaan.
That's a sign. You get to read
Oh.
that too.
Alderaan, capital of the new galactic empire. The towering white oxide clouds pass, revealing the imperial city of Alderaan. The magnificent domed and gleaming city is perched, mushroom-like, on a tall spire, which disappears deep into the misty surface of the planet. The peacefulness of this nebulous idol is broken by the increasing wail of ion engines. 4 sleek star destroyers from the Imperial Third Fleet burst from one of the huge cumulus range. The craft are flying in a tight formation as they bank steeply and head towards the Imperial capital of the galaxy. Interior of the Star Destroyer, Alderaan. Star Destroyers are 2-man spacecraft crammed with sophisticated electronic weaponry. The pilot and gunnery officers sit side by side, surrounded by lighted readouts and switches. They wear the gleaming black uniforms of the Empire.
Talk 1 to chicks. Shape it up. Let's make it good.
Does that glare bother you?
Use your face shield, chick 1.
The pilot is cold and professional as he maneuvers his craft closer to the others. The positions of the ships are displayed on a readout, along with a graphic representation of the city. The pilot gives the gunner a quick look before he flips his sun shield over his eyes.
Here we go. Count 3, 2, 1, now.
Review stand, Plaza of the Daters, Alderaan. On a huge stair platform stands the Dark Cause Dashit, Lord of Alderaan, consul to the Supreme Tribunal, and ruler of the Galactic Empire. He is a thin, gray-looking man with an evil mustache, which hangs limply over his insipid lip. Standing at rigid attention on his right are several generals, dressed in the black and gray uniform of the realm. 5 members of the Supreme Tribunal sit off to the side. On the Emperor's left stands Crispin Hodak, newly appointed governor of the Aquiline Systems, a young, treacherous man with stone-cut, angular features and piercing gray eyes. They all gaze skyward as the 4 gleaming star destroyers scream low overhead in an impressive barrel roll formation. As the sound of the spacecraft resonates throughout the glass canyon of the plaza, the group of dignitaries return their attention to the parade of Imperial Shock's troops and giant air tanks, which ride magically 2 to 3 feet above the ground. The plaza of the Dater is filled with 100 rows of troops as the last brigade marches into position. The sound of 1,000 men snapping to attention is followed by a strange silence. A light wind blows the great red banner of the Empire, creating a subtle flapping sound. The Emperor's amplified voice startles many of the troops as it cuts through the quiet.
Upon this battle depends the survival of the Galactic Empire. Upon this battle depends the life and long continuity of our civilization. Not since the great Jedi Rebellion has our destiny been placed in such a balance. This is to be the most magnificent campaign of all. You have never been called without doing something to be remembered, something notable and striking. The conquering of the Aquiline system, the last of the independent systems, and the last refuge of the outlawed, vile sect of the Jedi will have such important and lasting consequences that I can't but consider it as an epoch in history.
To the rear of the plaza, watching this spectacle over the shoulders of a curious bureaucrat, Clegg Whitson, a tall, blond young man about 20 years old. He seems interested in what the Emperor has to say, as if someone were after him. His arm rests across his head as he carefully but coolly adjusts a glowing blue ring on his index finger. The Emperor nears the end of his speech. Crispin Hodak was moved up to stand next to the sinister monarch. The troops shout an imperial salute in response to a particularly partisan statement.
I have personally asked the Aquilines to accept this treaty of allegiance. During the long period of negotiation, they have only decided to be undecided. We will barter no longer. Governor Hodak has been appointed the First Lord of the Aquiline system and surrounding territories. This is the last frontier and the final stone in the Great Wall of the Galactic Empire.
The troops cheer, and the Emperor escorts Haddock inside. Whitson moves quickly away from the plaza, passing through several check stations, where he is forced to show his identification. Nightclub, Alderaan. Whitson walks into the glass and chrome splendor of one of the famous nightclubs of Alderaan. He moves to the long mirrored bar and sits next to a rough-looking man, Bale Antilles, dressed to the distinctive gold and furs of the galactic traders.
Your glass is empty.
Whitson speaks in a small intercom on the bar front.
A Dantic and...
He looks in Antilles' glass.
No thanks, Woodson. I've had enough.
Just a Dantic then. Bale, it's not like you to refuse a drink. You're going to give the galactic traders a bad name.
A drink appears magically from a small elevator in the bar. Whitson takes it and then places the pen-like transmitter he has taken from his pocket next to the intercom. It creates a low electronic buzz. Bar Observation Center, Alderaan. A controller sitting in front of a row of monitors taps his headphones, then flips a switch back and forms a couple of times. He is obviously annoyed.
Number 18 is out again. Give me a maintenance check.
The controller yawns and puts his feet up on the control panel. Nightclub, Alderaan. Whitson leans in close to Antilles. He is suddenly very serious.
Woodson, we've got problems. They've just grounded all spacecraft, including trade frigates. Even the ships under Imperial Registry can't move. Something big is up.
I'm afraid they're not waiting for the Alliance Treaty. They're already moving against the system. I've got to get word back.
The Chrome companies are protesting the embargo, but it's going to take some time.
Isn't anything moving?
Military ships, but...
They are interrupted by an Imperial officer and several stormtroopers. The officer shouts over the PA system as the troops rush to block the exits. Whitson and the galactic trader are tense, but remain cool.
Stacy?
Attention! All captains and first officers of Guildtrade Vijaten will accompany me to the Ministry of Transport immediately.
Antilles gives Whitson a hopeless look as the troops check their papers and then take Antilles away. A small fight breaks out in the back of the nightclub as one of the trader captains expresses his dislike of the Empire. Whitson slams his glass to the bar in a gesture of hate and frustration. Governor Hodak's quarters, Alderaan. The large white-on-white executive quarters resound like the high-pitched laugh of the evil Governor Hodak. He slaps Darth Vader, a tall, grim-looking general, on the back, and the general's mouth makes the slightest gesture of a smile.
Success, I told you. We are no longer under the control of the great families. We've gained a true advantage.
Vantos Call, a member of the Supreme Tribunal and a man of the greatest dimensions, appears to be a little worried.
A rather dangerous advantage. You still have a system to conquer.
But this system will bring us more scientific wealth than any of the other house in the tribunal. We will easily gain control of the directorship.
Don't underestimate the armies of Aquilai. They're led by a Jedi.
I've told you about Commissioner Lara, General. He worries a lot.
It's a myth that any Jedi still exist.
General Skywalker is no myth. When I first arrived at court, he was the first bodyguard to the Emperor. He led the Jedi Rebellion.
See, Darklighter led the rebellion.
Oh, so the Emperor would have you think. But I was there.
Then why wasn't he hunted down like the others?
Because he is too dangerous, too clever. Besides, his presence on Aquilai is still only a rumor.
Then why do you believe it?
Because I knew him. He's there all right. I can sense it. Mark my words, Aquilai will not be easily conquered.
Courtyard, Palace of the Light, Aquilar. A low, sleek land speeder, an auto-like transmitter which travels a few feet above the ground on a magnetic field, glides into the courtyard of the Palace of the Aquilae. The planet is desert wilderness, but the palace is a sparkling oasis with low concrete walls and great turrets spilling over the foliage from rooftop gardens. The speeder stops before an enormous shaded corridor. Fountains line the beautiful and highly polished tiled walkway. Two young boys, Biggs and Wyndham, are helped out of the speeder by Amber, a one-armed bodyguard dressed in flowing white robes of the Aquilean military. Okay. The two boys run through the long corridors, yelling and screaming, their little footsteps echoing through the palace. 14. Library, Palace of the Light, Aquilae. The palace library is a dim, cool room, protecting an aura of time-worn comfort and security. In the distance, the children can be heard screaming through the courtyards. King Caius, a silver-haired but amazingly youthful under a tanned and leathery face, motions for one of his aides to shut the partially closed door. He is in the middle of an emergency meeting with the Aquilean High Senate. The 12 men sit in overstuffed chairs placed in a large circle. A large, cello-eyed galactic trader named Izavos fiddles nervously with a small scrap of leather as he speaks.
Sorry about that. My lord, the corporate company are with you in spirit, but you must understand they can't openly support you. Fair trade restrictions are very unfavorable. We of course favor your independence.
If there were to be war, would your frigates still supply us?
Your partner is to be commanded. It could be arranged.
Count Sandage, a corrupt noble of the Senate, jumps to his feet in a rage.
This is nonsense. We have no choice but to approve the treaty. If there is war, the Empire will destroy our entire system with a snap of the finger. General Skywalker is a dreamer if he thinks he can mount any meaningful resistance, and you're dreamers if you believe him. So much trust in one aged man, you must see.
At the moment, all heads turn as someone enters the room. It is General Luke Skywalker, commander of the Aquilean Star Force. He's a large man, apparently in his early 60s, but actually much older. Everyone senses the aura of power that radiates from this great warrior. Here is a leader, a Jedi general. He looks weary, but still a magnificent-looking warrior. His face, cracked and weathered by exotic climates, is set off by the close silver beard and dark, penetrating eyes. Sandej is somewhat embarrassed and quickly sits down.
there anyone here so naive he believes the Empire would even bother negotiating if they were contemplating destruction of the system? Your Excellencies, this is more than a simple raid on your resources. You must reach a decision.
Mirnash,
General,
a thin bird-like senator, turns to the general.
General Skywalker, war is a serious business, a deadly business.
Procrastination is a deadly business, Senator. War is my business. Have you approved my defense measures?
The Grand Moff Tarkin wears a long black robes of the Aquilian religion. He speaks with a high, cracking voice.
An actual war with the Empire is still only a remote possibility. As a military treatise, your proposal has certain merits. But in the harsh light of reality, an attack against the Empire appears to be a somewhat extreme defense.
You must understand, General, we are interested in avoiding a war, not starting one.
There are times when offense makes the best defense. If that alliance treaty isn't signed, we will need all of the advantage we can get.
Count Sandage, I want you to lead the delegation to Alderaan. You will leave tomorrow with our answer regarding the treaty. My decision will be forthcoming. All
The
right.
The senators whisper among themselves.
All right then. May the force of others be with you all.
The senators leave in a flurry of hushed conversation. The general is lost in thought and remains in his chair. Biggs and Windy, the king's two young sons, storm through the existing senators and rush onto Caius' lap. The king is obviously very proud of his two young princes. He throws Biggs into the air and then catches him again.
Me too, me too.
JC, that's you, Biggs.
Leia's leaving. Leia's leaving, and you gotta say goodbye.
The king picks up Windy and swings him around and then puts him down.
Okay, whippersnapper, go tell your mother and your sister that I'm on my way.
The two boys run out of the room and are heard yelling and screaming down the hallway. The king starts out but stops in front of the general.
Luke, my daughter is leaving for the academy at Chathos. Won't you come and wish her well? It would mean a lot to her. She truly idolizes you, you know. Come on, the war will wait.
Of course. I'm sorry, my lord. Politics always seems to distress me.
The general rises, and as they head for the door, Caius puts him on the back.
I know, Luke. I feel the force also.
Courtyard, Palace of Light, Aquile. A large four-seat speeder sits gleaming in the sun-soaked courtyard. The Princess Leia, about 14 years old, possessing a soft beauty and iron will, is embracing her mother, Queen Breha, a warm silver-haired matron. There are tears in the princess's blue eyes. Biggs and Windy jump around inside the speeder, disrupting the efforts of the one-armed Amber to pack several Plex-form cases. Leia embraces the king as he approaches with the general.
Oh, Daddy, I'll miss you so.
The semester will be over before you know it. You'll have a grand time. There are so many new things to learn. I wish I were going.
He gives her a fatherly smile, and she hugs him again. The general stands rather formally to one side. The princess, her long auburn hair tied in braids, moves to the general, and he bows to her.
Studies do you honor.
Leia is somewhat embarrassed by the general's formality, and only manages an awkward smile before returning to her parents at the speeder.
Hurry, Leia. You must make it to UL before nightfall.
The princesses, maids in waiting, Alana, a short, stocky girl, and Mina, a more comely, somewhat the same stature as Leia, with long dark hair, giggle and straighten Leia's dress before she enters the speeder. The princess and Mina hug Alana, whose giggles have turned into tears. The two boys scramble out of the speeder, and Amber helps the princess and her maid into the back seat. The speeder is piloted by a trooper of the First Order. Amber jumps into the seat beside him, and the speeder starts with a low buzzing sound. The princess waves to her family, and Mina waves to Alana as the speeder slowly glides out of the courtyard. War Room, Underground Fortress, Aquile. The War Room is a mass of glass enclosures, electronic wall displays, monitors, and computer stations. General Skywalker enters a control station, followed by a convoy of military aides and of various ranks. As the group hurry through the crowded room, men rise to salute the new arrivals. The general stops for a giant display of the galaxy. Small symbols flash on and off over the various portions of the big board. The general studies it intently.
Montrose?
Captain Montrose, one of the general's aides, snaps to attention.
Katie? You might be muted.
Oh, so sorry about that. I was muted. Sir,
What's the TQ on this?
the last frigate to leave the Imperial capital was at 2340, sir.
Have any ships at all left the planet? Check with the guild on Norton 3.
At 2400, a full battalion of Star Destroyers left for what is projected to be Anchorhead or a nearby system.
And no word from Whitson. He should have reported by now. Captain Prue,
An older academic-looking aide steps forward.
Sir,
what do you make of this?
a battalion is invasion force, but the Empire controls that entire part of the galaxy. A revolution, maybe? At any rate, they're going in the wrong direction to be any trouble to us.
The general ponders this for a few moments, then speaks almost to himself.
I don't know. It doesn't feel good.
Sir?
Put him on alert.
Loud uproar is heard from the far side of the war room. Everyone turns to see a foreign-dressed warrior pushing his way past several guards and war room bureaucrats. The warrior, with his long hair tied and an odd bun on the top of his head, is Kane Starkiller. He is followed by his son, Anakin, who rudely pushes the pesky bureaucrats out of the way.
It's restricted. You'll have to wait.
Get out of my way, boy, before I grind you into the surface.
As the dauntless Starkiller approaches the general, the guards stop in bewilderment as General Skywalker rushes up to the warrior and embraces him. The two Jedi warriors laugh jubilantly and slap one another as the aides and bureaucrats look on in amazement.
Kane Starkiller, you old muscle rat. What a sight. We had heard that you had been executed.
So, the Empire would like to believe. I've been in the Cassell system. You remember the little Anakin?
Kane puts his arm around his son, who's been making eyes at one of the cute young female aides. He bows before the general.
Takes after his mother. It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you.
It's wonderful to be with another Jedi again. There are so few of us left.
The cute aide goes back to her duties, flirting with Anakin as she passes. The young warrior pinches her on the ass, which startles her, but she goes on like nothing happened.
What a sight.
The two Jedi stand looking at one another, hardly believing the other is real. Finally, the general realizes his aides are standing around, gawking at the duo.
Wake up, gentlemen. You're on alert. Keep me posted on that battalion.
Control station, Underground Fortress, Aquile. The General Starkiller and his son enter a small glass-enclosed control office. They sit and an awkward silence passes as each man waits for the other to speak.
I've come for your help.
Anything you ask. You're a Jedi brother. We're one.
My friend, we've been through much together. I've been through much since we parted. I've lost much. The Empire has chased us halfway across the galaxy. There is no refuge. One day they will come here take my son as your Padawan learner. He would be a Jedi. I've trained him from birth. He fought in the Cassilian civil wars and commanded an expedition to the cone systems. He's a good boy, Luke, and one hell of a fighter.
The general looks down, somewhat embarrassed. He scratches his head, then smiles.
Old friend, you do me too much honor. I was never a match for you. Why don't you finish his training yourself?
I'm too old, Luke. I can't go on. You must finish it.
What kind of talk is this? You're not the old Starkiller I remember. Too old?
Starkiller suddenly ignites in a rage and swings his left forearm down with a mighty blow across the solid chrome desk the general is sitting on. The old Jedi warrior's forearm cracks in two, spewing forth wires and many fine multicolored electronic components. The artificial limb flops lifelessly to Starkiller's side. The warrior rips open his tunic, revealing a plastic chest stuffed with flashing electric parts.
I'm not the same. There is nothing left but my head and right arm. I've lost too much, Luke. I'm dying.
The general bows his head in sorrow for one of the greatest warriors in the galaxy and a dear friend.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I keep losing control. I'm very tired. Take my son. The Jedi Bendu must survive. We must pass it on. Only a Jedi can stop the Empire. We're very old, Luke. A new generation of Jedi must be started. Take him! Teach him the way of the Jedi Bendu.
Captain Montrose bursts into the office and somewhat excitedly salutes the general.
Sir, we have picked up something, an asteroid or a solid comet, moving away from the Anchorhead system.
War Room, Underground Fortress, Aquilai. The general rushes out of the control station and back to the giant galactic display. He's followed by Montrose, Starkiller, and his son.
Are you sure it's not the battalion?
A solid object. It's as big as our third moon.
Too large to be man-made, and it's too slow to be a comet.
Analysis?
It's too far out.
I'll be with the king. Report as soon as you can. Report as soon as you can get a reading on it. Captain Starkiller, from now on, you stick close to me.
The older Starkiller smiles and puts his good arm around his old friend. Dining chamber, Palace of Light, Aquilai. King Chaos moves his arm around Bree Howe's waist as they stand on a balcony watching the giant twin suns of Aquilai disappear behind a distant dune range. The general enters, rather in a rush, followed by the young Starkiller, who is now dressed in the white uniform of the Aquilian Star Force. He still wears the distinctive Cassilian hairnet. They bow before the king.
Aren't they beautiful, General? Always and never the same. You're just in time for dinner.
I have come for other reasons. Could...
Relax, General. We will discuss it, but over dinner. There are times, Luke, when I find you a bit too rigid. Is this your new disciple?
Starkiller is Elodie and bows again.
Anakin Starkiller, sir.
Where's Kane?
He left for the spaceport at Gordon to visit an old friend, Han Solo, the Aurelian. We are becoming quite a refuge.
The group sits at a large table and food is brought in by servants. They eat. Starkiller is nervous and watches the general to make sure he's being proper.
My lord, several events have occurred which lead me to believe we are in imminent danger of attack. There is no longer time for discussion and debate.
What events?
Whitson, our best agent, has disappeared in the Imperial capital. There is unusual military traffic in the S4 sectors.
Unless you have direct proof of a pending attack, there's nothing I can do.
By the time we have proof, it may be too late.
Oh, Luke, I'm leaving tonight for Amsel. I'm meeting with the full assembly first thing in the morning. I am not going to approve the alliance treaty, and I will get your defensive measure approved. Just be patient. You will have the war code.
Tomorrow may be too late. My lord, I need the war code now. We must get our forces into space.
But it must be done legally with everyone's approval. Tomorrow, you will have that. I doubt the Empire would attack before receiving our answer. The separation of war powers is the one condition upon which you assume command of our forces. Your friend Luke, and I trust you, but you're also an outlander who controls a great deal of power. I can't forsake my oath any more than you can. Just be patient. You will have the code tomorrow.
Captain Montrose enters the large chamber and bows before the king.
I bring a report to General Skywalker, my lord.
You may deliver it.
Sir, the asteroid has disappeared from our scopes. There is no trace of it.
Were they able to analyze it?
It never came within range, sir.
The general rises, quickly followed by Starkiller.
Excuse us, my lord. We'd better get back. I will wait patiently for the approval.
The general and Montrose exit the chambers. Starkiller takes one last bite of his dinner, then dashes after his mentor. War room, underground fortress, Aquilai. The general sits rigidly, facing the big galactic display board. Several aides and bureaucrats rush to and fro, ignoring the general. He is asleep. Captain Prue approaches the general and snaps. Captain Prue approaches, and the general snaps to attention. The general's eyes open.
What are the results?
Negative, sir.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
It's just not possible. Something that size can't just disappear without a trace. Check it again.
That's the 10th negative, sir.
I said check it again.
Captain Prue retreats to a computer station. The general looks around for Starkiller.
Starkiller?
Everyone near the general turns, but Starkiller doesn't show.
Where is that boy? Montrose!
Montrose rushes to the general and snaps to attention.
Page Starkiller.
Montrose goes back to his station, and a few moments later, Starkiller is paged over the PA system. The general waits, watching the big board. Eventually, Starkiller stumbles out of an enclosed computer closet, fastening his pants and tucking in his tunic. A moment later, the cute female aide rather sheepishly exits the computer closet. She is also in the process of putting her uniform back together. Starkiller rushes up to the general and snaps to attention. The general lets him stand there for a moment, not acknowledging his presence. Then suddenly, without warning, and in one masterful flash motion, the general stands, grabs a small baton attached to his belt, which immediately ignites into a 4-foot glowing laser sword, and swings it at the young warrior's head. In an equally quick movement, Starkiller ignites his laser sword and blocks the general's blow. Everyone in the war room is surprised and startled. After a moment, they rush to the general. Starkiller and the general stand motionless for a few moments with laser swords locked in midair, creating a low buzzing sound. Finally, the general grins and Starkiller hesitantly relaxes. They lower their swords and turn them off.
You are trained well, but remember, a Jedi must be single-minded. The discipline your father obviously never learned, hence your existence. Clean yourself up. Discipline is essential. Your mind must follow the way of the Bendu.
It won't happen again, sir. There are many new.
General Skywalker, right comm.
The general moves to a control station and picks up a phone.
Sir, Captain Whitson has just been admitted to medvac.
What's his condition?
No data, sir.
I'm on my way.
Medvac emergency room, underground fortress. Captain Starkiller waits in an outer chamber as General Skywalker rushes into the Medvac emergency room where several doctors are working on the prostrate Whitson.
What's his condition? Is he conscious?
Oh, partially. He'll be all right. A few bruises. Primary exhaustion.
Whitson thrashes around in a semi-conscious state. He sees the general.
What happened, boy? What's going on?
The Imperial Star Force is already on its way. not far behind me. They're going to attack.
Are you sure?
I have tapes. A giant space fortress.
He struggles to give General Skywalker his ring.
As big as our third moon?
Bigger. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. Sophisticated deflection systems work in opposition to the sun's.
They will show up on our screens at sunrise. They'll attack before that.
The general rushes into the outer chamber where Captain Starkiller is waiting for him.
Take the fastest land speeder to Chanthos. Pick up Princess Leia, and only Princess Leia. Return by way of the Great Reef. Most speed.
Starkiller exits and the general goes to an intercom and pushes several buttons.
Montrose?
Sir,
Full alert. Everything. Get the royal family back here.
the princess is at Chathos. There are no transports.
I've already sent Captain Starkiller for her. Contact the king, first priority. He's probably still en route to Amsel. Use the Scancom. I'm on my way.
War Room, Underground Fortress, Aquilai. The War Room is on full alert. Everyone is at attention, waiting for the command that will put them into action. The general enters a communication center followed by many aides. Captain Montrose and the column aides salute.
We're having a problem getting through, sir. There is a great deal of interference.
It could be jamming.
Try surface link through Amsel.
The aides go back to the comlink system to try to get a line through to the king.
We should be able to spot them at sunrise. That's not too far off.
They'll attack with sunrise. Until the king gives us that code to start the war computers, we'll just have to sit tight.
All units are on alert, sir.
Have you made contact yet? This is one hell of a way to run a war.
Sir?
Courtyard, Academy of Cathos, Aquilai. A land speeder roars into a courtyard of the Academy at Cathos. Starkiller jumps out and runs up to the large, heavy doors of the Academy. They are locked. He bangs madly on the carved metallic door until finally an old woman manages to swing it open. Starkiller rushes past her into the main courtyard where Princess Leia and her handmaiden Mina struggle with two large cases. They are followed by two very old matrons dragging several more cases.
Forget the cases. We've no time.
These are my things. They must come
I
with
said
me.
forget them and hurry.
Just who do you think you are?
Starkiller grabs the princess by the arm and hauls her to the speeder. Mina and the old woman run after them.
I will not be treated like this. You bring my things. My father will have your head if you don't.
Leia struggles to break away from the young warrior's grasp as he opens the door of the speeder.
Settle down.
When the door to the speeder is opened, Mina starts in and Starkiller stops her.
You must stay here. Take the crest.
Starkiller rips the royal crest from the princess's neck and hands it to the startled handmaiden. The old woman gasps in horror. The princess starts hitting Starkiller with little resolve.
Mina's not sting. I'm not leaving her. You can't.
Starkiller punches her square on the jaw and knocks her cold. Mina is panic-stricken. One of the old women faints, and another starts for Starkiller with a large staff.
She'll be all right. I'm taking her to safety, as ordered. You will wear the crest and continue as before.
The authority of Starkiller's voice stops the old lady. He places the princess into the speeder and maneuvers it out of the courtyard. Mina puts on the crest as the speeder races away from the academy. War Room, Underground Fortress, Aquilai. Queen, Breha, Briggs, and Wendy are escorted into a rest area of the War Room. General Skywalker sits rigidly in a chair in the communications area, apparently asleep.
Sir, we've made contact.
The general opens his eyes and takes the intercom mic.
What is it, General?
The Empire will attack on the rising of the sun. My agent made it back. I now have proof. I need the war code.
I'll relay it directly to the computer. Is Breha?
The royal family is safe. Starkiller has gone after Princess Leia.
I'm on my way back.
Red Plains, Aquilai. The small caravan of 4 speeders sits motionless on the vast red plains of Aquilai. The king returns the intercom to the pilot and takes a small metallic card from around his neck and gives it to the co-pilot.
Send this sub-land priority 1. Get us back to Calvas immediately.
The 4 speeders turn around and scream away in the direction they had come. They pass a huge, ultra-sleek power plow, planting green fungus in endless furrows. 2 clay-covered farmers riding atop the ponderous machine watch the speeders disappear over the horizon and into the rising twin suns. A bright object twinkling in early morning heavens catches the eye of the older of the 2 farmers, and he brings the machine to a lumbering halt. The younger farmer also notices the object and stares skyward, shading his eyes to get a better view. Suddenly, there is a huge, bright atomic flash on the horizon. A few moments later, a thunderous shaking, followed by high winds, tumbling the older farmer from his perch. A second flash on the opposite horizon brings another jolting earthquake, and the younger farmer collapses, terror frozen on his face. Ready Room Space Outpost Aquilai, chaos. Red scramble lights are flashing. Alert horns and attack buzzers create an unbelievable cacophony. Air warriors with the distinctive circle and cross medallion on their white spacesuits scramble out of the low concrete ready room, grabbing helmets and space packs as they race out of the door. Attack runway, spaceport outpost Aquilai. 12 pilots and navigators dash in unison to a line of waiting 2-man starships of the destroyer class. Ground crews scurry back and forth, loading last-minute armament and unlocking power couplings. Pilot leader, a rugged, handsome boy of 20, gives his ground crew a signal that he is okay. He has a winning smile and a distinctive scar along the side of his face. His crew chief pats him on the back.
Knock them all the way back to Alderaan.
The canopy is closed and the powerful starship moves onto the runway. Other crewmen say goodbye to their pilots, some grin, some kidding, all with a great deal of hidden emotion. The din of 24 retro rockets cuts through the uproar, and 6 silver spacecraft leave the runway and disappear into the morning cloud cover.
War Room, Underground Fortress Aquilai. The general stands before a giant display of the Aquilian solar system. Montrose signals the general.
They're away, sir. 6 from Gordon. All other spaceports were hit. The king hasn't arrived yet.
Keep checking. Put those fighters intercom over the PA.
The general sits at one of the intercom panels and puts on a headphone. A row of monitors is before him. He turns to Montrose.
Where are they?
Space, Aquilai, in eclipse. The eerie reddish-yellow planet of Aquilai slowly drifts into the view from total eclipse. A small, bright speck orbiting the planet sparkles in the light of the twin suns. The 6 steady Aquiline starships settle ominously into the foreground, moving swiftly towards the orbiting speck. As the sleek starships move closer, the orbiting speck is revealed to be a gargantuan space fortress. The moon-sized satellite fortress dwarfs the approaching fighters. Every few moments, explosions create blinding flashes on the planet's surface as the fortress bombards the planet with a fusillade of laser bolts. Aquiline starship interior. Pilot leader in the first ship signals to his navigator, who sits in a small, isolated glass bubble in the rear of the craft. General Skywalker is seen on one of the many monitors. A view of the space fortress is on another. The rest are filled with various computer readouts and displays. One of the other starships reports to pilot leader.
Look at the size of that thing. Hey, Bowman, I hope you remember to bring your pop gun, because I think we caught a big one this time.
Cut off, double 6. Stand by.
It looks like they're still using the basic quad tri-station configuration. Use a Ranger defense. Concentrate on breath ports and lock areas.
Affirmative base. Copy and transmit. Double 2, check your rotation plates.
Roger, boss. We're getting a threshold disturbance on gyro 3.
Switch over. 5. Cover it. Devil Pack, generate a spread 6 formation. May the force of others protect you.
Settle in. Devil pack, stand by. Mark 5. Break off. Here we go. God save us all.
Space, Aquiline starship. Fuel pods are jettisoned. The half-dozen fighters break off into a power line attack on the huge fortress. Multiple laser bolts streak from the starships, creating small explosions on the complex surface of the fort. Interior main corridor, Imperial Space Fortress. The chaos of battle echoes through the vast corridors of the fortress. Walls buckle and cave in, sucking debris and personnel into the vacuum of the outer space. Alarm sirens scream as soldiers scramble to large turbo-powered laser gun replacements. Sergeants yell orders through the smoke and confusion. Men and robots of various shapes and sizes run to their battle stations. War room, underground fortress, Aquili. The monitors with pictures from the starships suddenly go black. Technicians check channels as others in the war room silently listen to the action across the intercom. The general remains calm, but concerned.
Tighten it up. Devil 2, tighten it up. Watch those towers.
The heavy fire, boss. 23 degrees.
I see it. Pull in. We're picking up some interference.
Devil 6.
Wow, I've never seen such firepower.
Pull in, Devil 2. Pull in. Chewie.
I'm all right, boss. I got a target.
There's too much action, Chewie. Get out.
Break off, Chewie. Acknowledge. Devil 6, can you see Devil 2?
I've lost him. There's very heavy fire. I've lost him. There's very heavy fire zone on this side. My radar's jammed.
He's gone. No, wait. There he is. Been damaged, but he's all right.
A sigh of relief sweeps across the war room. The monitors flash on, then off again.
Watch your back, boss. Watch your back.
Aquiline starship. The speedy little fighters start back and forth across the soft underbelly of the fortress, leaving a trail of destruction behind them.
Coverage on South Access Point, point 394. It appears accessible. I'm going to map the surface. Devil 4, cover me.
Did we lose you, Vicky?
Where am I?
Pilot leader in Devil 4?
Pilot leader and Devil 4 dive in unison through a forest of radar domes, antennae, and gun towers. Devil 4 fires into the protrusions as the two starships crisscross the surface of the fortress. Suddenly, a dense barrage of laser fire erupts from a tower, catching Devil 4 broadside. The spacecraft bursts into a million flaming pieces. Pilot leader reacts to the loss of his wingman, but continues on his mission. Sub-hallway, Imperial Space Fortress. Constant explosions rock the interior of the fortress. Civilians, including women and children, scurry for safety in the panic-ridden hallways. Two construction robots, R2-D2, and two C-3PO are blown, slipping and sliding across the hallway floor into some freight canisters. Both robots are rather old and battered. R2 is a short, 3 feet, claw-armed tripod. His face is a mass of computer lights surrounding a radar eye. 3PO is a tall, gleaming android of human proportions. He is thin, with a totally metallic surface of an Art Deco design, and the robots attempt to get from under the canisters, but rushing gas from a broken pipe keeps knocking them over.
This is madness. We're going to be destroyed. I'm still not accustomed to space travel.
The German bombardment do not appear to be concentrated in this area. The structure has ceded to Nova stress quotient by 0.4, and so there appear to be no immediate danger.
No immediate danger. Your family. This is madness.
R2 gives 3PO a sheepish look and clings to a side rail for dear life as debris flies through the hallway. Aquilian starship, Devil 2, Chewie, a young hotshot of about 16 years, miraculously dives into ship through a virtual wall of laser fire and blasts a huge radar disk into dust. Chewie signals his navigator, who lets out a whooping cheer as the craft veers into a victory roll.
Great. Great moves, Chewie. Regroup at point 201. Coincide, double six.
Base, your map projection shows a weak point at South Portal, 9.6. Concentrate the attack on that point. Coordinate.
I see it. Looks good.
Devil 5 and Devil 3 bob and weave in formation toward a giant transformer jutting from the fort's surface.
We're hit. We're hit.
Eject, eject. Babs, Babs, do you read?
I'm okay. I can hold it. Clear me a little, Devil 5. Watch it. Watch it.
Devil 3 wobbles a little, then drops away sharply, plowing into a laser gun emplacement, causing a hideous series of chain reaction explosions. Sub-hallway, Imperial Space Fortress. A huge explosion rips a large hole in the ceiling of a sub-hallway. R2 and 3PO are in a state of shock as they scramble through the rubble. There's a constant sound of creaking, snapping, as the sections of the hallway resettle into the fortress superstructure.
You're mindless, useless philosopher. Come on, let's get back to work. To set you all right.
You overweight glob of grease. Quit following me. Get away. Get away.
Suddenly, the hallway lurches, and a dead trooper falls through a gaping hole in the ceiling. The foot of the carcass is caught in the rubble, and it hangs upside down, staring at the two robots. R2 grabs 3PO, and they cling to each other in terror.
Lost, we're destroyed.
3 sharp blasts from an air horn send the two androids running for cover in a burned-out doorway. 5 grim-faced troopers riding small rocket platforms pass the 2 mechanical men. Governor's Quarters, Imperial Space Fortress. The 5 troopers race through the several hallways and finally stop in front of an important-looking office complex. 2 officers dismount and enter the complex. They pass through several heavily guarded doorways until they reach the main chamber. Seated behind a large cluttered desk, surrounded by generals and attachés, is Governor Hodak. General Vader paces in front of a row of blank monitors. The 2 officers salute General Vader.
All comlink power is out. 22 transformer sections have been destroyed. The situation is grave on all southern levels. Comlink communication should be repaired shortly.
The officers salute, turn, and leave the chamber. The general turns to Governor Hodak, who looks a little worried.
Don't look so worried. Not even a Jedi could penetrate this fortress. We've already wiped out most of their forces.
If this goes on too long, we'll run over budget. When do the landings begin?
As soon as the attack has been broken, not lost.
A short, stocky attaché salutes the general.
Contamination is set in on quadrants B5 and R4. All sections are sealed. We've lost 2 major power stations in the southern quadrants. That puts section 5-1 in serious trouble.
The general turns away in controlled anger and embarrassment. War room, underground fortress Aquile. The general sits in a glass-enclosed computer station, watching the battle progress on several monitors. An officer enters and salutes the general.
Analysis reports those EQ configurations are definitely power transformers. Everything in the southern sectors of the fortress is out.
Surprised they're still using external power units. It's a definite weak point. Concentrate on searching for the main crosslink transformer.
The officer exits as Montrose rushes in.
The Senate has voted to end the war.
They can't do anything without the king's approval, which gives us a little time. Have you been able to regain contact with the king?
No, sir. All ground communications are jammed.
Send 4 men from 3rd Squad to meet the king and escort him back. Let me know before he arrives. Is Starkiller back with the princess?
No, sir. They're long overdue.
Pilot leader checks in over the intercom.
All right, Base 1, we're in position.
An officer with headphones looks to the general. He signals to attack. Aquiline starships. All 4 starships dive in formation toward a main transformer area, flanked by several solar towers.
Hold your fire until we're within 0.054. Make it count.
Several ACK lasers begin to open fire on the approaching spacecraft. The starships direct their fire at a large black transformer, which, when hit, spurts bright blue and white electrical arcs. One of the starships, Devil 5, explodes and careens out of formation, leaving an erratic trail of smoke before eventually crashing into a solar panel. Subhallways, Imperial Space Fortress. The impact of the exploding starship can be felt throughout the giant fortress. The tall, gleaming 3PO races through several corridors, yelling at R2, who struggles vainly to keep pace with his stubby mechanical feet.
I don't care what you do, but I'm getting out. All the power's out. Those explosions are coming from the reactor section. This is the end. Abandon ship.
Avoid, we can't leave in desertion. Not possible. Not possible.
Your programming is so limited. My first order is preservation. You stay. I'm going to eject before the whole thing goes up.
3PO breaks open the seal on an emergency life pod. A red warning light begins to flash, and a low hum is heard. The lanky chrome android works his way into the cramped 4-man craft.
He's like for our fun and not right.
A new explosion, this time very close, sends dust and debris through the narrow passageway. Flames lick at the 2 robots. The runt-sized R2 jumps into the life pod.
At the end, eject.
The safety door snaps shut, and the pod ejects from the fortress. Aquiline starships. The terrified androids in the life pod speed away from the fortress and pass the attacking starships.
Object approaching. Attack bearing.
It's a life pod. Forget it. We've got.
Devil 4 is hit by laser fire and disintegrates, leaving a trail of flaming particles. The 2 remaining craft continue the assault. Chewie and pilot leader watch the remains of Devil 4 disappear. The general appears over one of the monitors.
General Skywalker?
Hang on.
Just before scene 43.
It's before scene 43. Okay, there we go. Analysis indicates transformer code 03 is the main relay. Hit it and the whole thing goes dead.
We're on our way.
Governor's Quarters, Imperial Space Fortress. A row of monitors and the main overhead lights go on, and a trooper appears on one of the screens.
Internal relays operative. All power restored. All contaminated areas sealed.
An officer appears on another monitor.
Only 2 enemy craft remain operative. We calculate victory by CO 300.
General Vader switches to another monitor.
Alert the invasion forces. The planet is ours. A 3-hour war. You expected longer. Jedi or not. Jedi or not, we've beaten them and the culture is intact.
Capri.
A truly great prize for the Empire. They have a treasure of biotic science, genetics, cloning. They have added 200 years to a lifespan. Remember, you must capture at least one member of the royal family alive. The Aquilae family has ruled the system for 10,000 years. The people will follow no other. If the royal line is broken, there is a good chance the Empire population will destroy themselves and their knowledge before submitting to our rule.
The general is interrupted by a call on one of the monitors.
We've received a message from the planet.
War Room, Underground Fortress, Aquilae. General Skywalker watches a giant computer display of the space fortress mapped by the starships. An aide approaches.
Sir, the King's convoy has destroyed at Calden. All the bodies were contaminated.
I will audience with the Queen. Who knows of this?
Many. It came through civilian sources.
Confine Senator Sandage to his quarters. Use any pretext. Where's the senator now?
Sandage and several other senators enter the computer station.
Right here, General. It's over. We've already relayed peace terms to the Empire and they've been accepted. Your war has ended.
The general is angry and stands pointing at the senators. They jump back as if the general were pointing a gun at them.
Senator, this war isn't over. It's just begun. I take my commands from the royal family.
The Queen concurs. I have her written decree. It is to be implemented immediately. I order you to cease the attack.
Not likely.
Treason? Revolution? The people won't follow you, General, nor will your troops. I suggest you follow your orders.
General Skywalker stands angrily pondering the situation. Sandage and the other senators are tense, a little afraid that he might cut them down on the spot.
Well, General?
Life pod sky over Aquilae. The reddish-yellow mass of Aquilae seems to engulf the tiny life pod containing the two fleeing androids.
R2. Chris? Scene 45.
Oh yeah. It's David Sawyer. How'd you get this happen?
That's funny. Damage doesn't look as bad from out here.
Aquiline starships. Pilot Leader and Devil 2 make a second dive on the now smoldering transformer area. All firing from the fortress suddenly stops. Pilot Leader looks back to his navigator, who is equally puzzled. The two fighters continue to attack the now silent fortress.
I don't get it. What do you think, boss?
General Skywalker appears on the monitors.
Base 1 to Devil Leader. Scramble code 9er. Break your attack and return to base. Repeat, break your attack. Confirm.
They're hurt, sir, but they still have power. We should finish.
Break off. The war is over. Run on white lights. Get back here, Mace. We're going to need you.
Confirmed. Base 1. We're on our way. Did you copy, Chewie?
Roger, boss.
The two starfighters break off the attack and start back towards the planet. Without warning, the fort directs concentrated fire at the two starfighters. Devil 2 instantly bursts into flames, then disintegrates. Pilot Leader's tail section is hit and the ship pinwheels towards the planet. Blood covers Pilot Leader's immobile face.
We're under fire. They're still shooting. I thought it was over. We're hit. We're hit. Pilot is dead. Ejecting.
The dead Pilot Leader is jettisoned free of the craft, but the navigator's eject panel is dead. He struggles with it, then bangs on the canopy to no avail. The navigator is still trapped in the craft when it explodes, leaving only a puff of pink smoke reflected in the rim light of the planet. Desert near outpost Aquilae. Pilot Leader's dead body drifts towards his arid mother planet. Automatic rockets kick in occasionally to direct and soften the landing. Two gray-clad troopers stand next to a military land speeder, watching the descending air warrior through electro-robot binoculars. What? That got me. Mesa's corpse hits the ground rather hard, creating a whirlwind of dust, and the two troopers rush over to the pilot. The younger of the two troopers, a young boy in his teens, cradles the dead star pilot in his arms and begins to cry. War Room, Underground Fortress, Aquile. General Skywalker, he sits alone, meditating in the deserted war room. Montrose approaches the contemplative general.
No, no sign of Starkiller or the princess. There was much damage in that area. The Queen will see you at 1000.
The general doesn't reply. Assembly, departure area, Imperial Space Fortress. General Vader stands behind a row of men at computer control panels. A computer reports to the general.
All enemy craft destroyed. First and 5th Division, troop and equipment standing by.
The general gives a sly smile of approval and takes a microphone from one of the computer technicians. He speaks to the troops and pilots waiting in their huge war machines for the invasion order.
The war is won. With the conquering of this system, we have ushered in a new millennium for the Empire, which will echo throughout the universe. Our reward is the knowledge this system possesses. This planet must be controlled with a minimum of force, but you must not think lightly of this enemy. They have exacted a heavy toll. Today, you will make the Empire complete. Do so with pride and care.
Vader puts down the mic and turns to his commander.
Let the invasion begin.
Aubrey, this is you for A&D.
The edge of the Dune Sea, Aquile. Juneland, or No Man's Land, where the rugged desert mesas meet the foreboding Dune Sea. The two helpless astro robots pick up clouds of dust as they clumsily work their way across the desert coastline. The short R2 struggles desperately to keep up with the long-legged 3PO.
It's not possible. We're not built for this. You're nothing more than a different emotion brain, intelligible. But you created beyond my logic system. Thanks to you and your journey. We'll probably be destroyed at sight. On top of that, we go the wrong way. All the folks are getting.
The towering 3PO stops short and turns on the blabbering mechanical runt.
I've had enough of you, you pragmatic, near-sighted scrap pile. You go your own way.
He picks up the tiny robot and tosses him several feet into a large sand dune. 3PO starts off in the direction of the Dune Sea. R2 struggles to his feet and shakes a metallic claw arm at his disappearing ex-partner.
You'll be malfunctioning, Randy. You got the wrong way, but your way is always the wrong way.
3PO stops and yells at the smaller android.
And don't let me catch you following me, begging for help, because you won't get it from me.
R2's reply is a rather rude sound, which only an electronic person could make. He turns and trudges off in the opposite direction into the rocky desert mesas. Dune Sea, Aquile. 3PO, hot and tired, struggles up over the ridge of a dune, only to find more dunes, which seem to go on for endless miles. He looks back at the direction that he came.
You little malfunctioning twerp. This is all your fault. You tweaked me into going this way, but you'll do no better.
He sits in a huff of anger and frustration, knocking the sand from his joints. Desert Mesa, Aquile. R2 stumbles through a narrow canyon until he climbs over a small boulder and sees before him a sight he first thinks is a mirage. Nestled in a rock formation is a desert land speeder. Once little robot is convinced that he is alone. He approaches the battered speeder and begins to analyze it, climbs into the pilot's seat, and attempts to start the unfamiliar transport. He hears a sound and stops for a moment. He sees nothing, so he continues to fiddle with the control panel until the large speeder lurches forward with the start, banging into a large rock. The stubby android is shaken, but neither he nor the speeder seems to be damaged. Shivers run down R2's metal spine, and again he has an eerie feeling that he is being watched. He slowly looks around and sees a large man, Captain Starkiller, standing directly behind him. He is startled, then terrified.
Where is your master?
The little robot clicks and rattles, but doesn't speak.
Can't you speak? How do you relate your data? You're of Carolian manufacture. You should be able to talk. Are you
Starkiller
damaged?
Sorry.
Are you damaged?
Starkiller pokes at the machine, but doesn't see any damage. R2 eyes him suspiciously. The robot turns with a start and discovers a young girl, Princess Leia, has been standing next to him for some time.
Well, General, who's your friend?
I don't know. He doesn't seem to be able to talk. Damaged, probably. Jettisoned from a damaged ship.
What do you intend to do with it?
We'll take it with us. Could be a storehouse of valuable information.
Starkiller guides the android onto the small luggage area behind the front seat, then hops into the driver's seat.
I don't want to ride with that thing. I order you to destroy it immediately.
Get in! We've got to hurry if we're going to get across the dune hedge by nightfall. You're coming, one way or the other. Will you join us peaceably?
The princess reluctantly gets into the speeder, and it starts with a jolt. Land speeder Desert Messos Equile. The speeder flies along a foot or so above the landscape.
You are such a barbarian. I'll have my father cut you into little pieces when we get back. And I'm going to take pleasure feeding you to the Gonthas. A little bit each day. I may save your eyes, though. I'll have them petrified and made into a necklace.
Your sweetness is only surpassed by your beauty. Just try to remember, I'm only following orders.
To beat me and abuse me?
I'm afraid I've only learned one way to treat wild animals.
R2 thrashes about, trying to relieve the pressure in his crumped legs.
Oh, you stay out of this.
Dune Sea. 3PO struggles on top of a large dune. He is dirty and hot. His plight seems hopeless. He searches the horizon for any sign of life. A glint of reflected light in the distance reveals an object speeding toward him. The chrome android waves frantically and yells at the approaching speeder. The sleek land speeder races past him about 200 yards away. He runs after it, screaming in desperation till he stumbles and falls head over heels in an enormous sand dune. Silently, the speeder sweeps around a circle and stops behind the immobile robot. Starkiller jumps out of the land speeder and is quickly followed by R2.
We're in a hurry, remember? If you're going to stop for every unfortunate along the way, we'll never get back. We're lucky you got the speeder running as it is.
R2 waddles up to his fallen partner and starts pulling on his leg, then runs up and starts pulling on his arm.
Fudgin' me! Come on, Fudgin'!
Well, my little friend, you found your tongue.
We must help it. We've been lost.
Where did you come from?
The little robot runs around his fallen partner, giving him small electric charges from his claw hand. 3PO shudders from head to toe, then regains consciousness.
What happened?
You overheated.
Where did you come from?
We were jetted for 629 Peon 1.
I'm unfamiliar with that ship. What type is it?
It's
A
a
Class
class
M station.
That's
Sorry.
3PO.
M. It's a class M station, not a conventional craft.
3PO then stands and shakes the young Jedi's hand.
I'm C-3PO, Human Cyborg Relation. Your kindness is greatly appreciated.
Starkiller and the two robots walk back to the speeder. Land speeder, Desert Canyon, Aquile. Both R2 and 3PO are stuffed into a tiny luggage compartment. This is late in the day when the speeder rumbles to a stop in a small desert canyon surrounded by steep cliffs and broken boulders.
We'll rest here.
At last, transport is welcome by my joints are frozen.
Everyone climbs out of the low-slung speeder. Starkiller watches the two androids as they stretch their mechanical limbs.
I have got a bad case of dust contamination. You barely move.
What a forsaken place this is. We seem to be made to suffer. It's our lot in life, sir. We could you tell.
3PO turns and notices that Starkiller and the princess have disappeared. He looks all around.
Where did they go? They've disappeared.
Maybe they were attacked. I said danger.
Hidden fortress entrance, Desert Canyon, Aquile. Captain Starkiller and Princess Leia hurry through a maze of large boulders until they reach a sheer rock face. Starkiller looks around to see if they were followed. Suddenly, a large section of rock slides away, revealing a well-lit corridor carved out of the rock. They enter and are greeted by two jubilant guards. Starkiller gives them some orders and points in the direction of the speeder. The secret rock door silently slides closed. Main hallway, underground fortress, Aquile. Starkiller and the princess are greeted by General Skywalker and Montrose. They bow before the princess.
General, I want you to do something with this barbarian. Where's my father?
He is dead, Your Highness.
All anger suddenly drains from the princess. She almost timidly asks the next question.
My mother? And brothers?
She's here. She's safe. So are your brothers. They're in the main chamber.
Leia, now looking more like a frightened young girl than a vindictive princess, runs down the hallway towards the main chamber. She vainly attempts to hold back the tears. Desert Canyon, Aquile. The two puzzled androids sit on the land speeder, one pondering the disappearance of their savior.
Do you suppose we're in danger?
The larger the environment escaped me.
The night begins to fall, and the shadows begin to lengthen. The two robots begin to get a little edgy. The sound of approaching feet startles R2, and he ducks behind his taller friend. Two guards approach the robots.
You will remain calm, and you will remain here.
Certainly, I'm C3PO, human cyborg relation. Your kindness is gratefully appreciated.
R2 sits rather suspiciously behind his extroverted friend. Royal Chamber, Underground Fortress, Aquile. General Skywalker bows low before Princess Leia. She sits on a raised platform dressed in the royal robes of a planetary ruler. The Queen sits off to one side on a smaller platform. The princess waits for a few moments before she allows the general to rise.
The Senate has been corrupted.
You cannot rule without your wish.
I rule by marriage. With the king dead, I am not strong enough to stop them. Leia is now the true queen. She must be protected. The line must be preserved. I am placing the future of our people in your hands. You must deliver Leia and her brothers to the Opuchi Kistem. They will be safe there. General, you must understand, I had no alternative but to condone an end to the hostilities. I deeply believe your campaign could have been successful, but there are things that...
I understand, Your Highness.
The Chrome companies on Opuchi have offered to supply you with the men and ships necessary to return Leia to the throne.
Can the Chrome companies be trusted?
The price for their cooperation is high. It is waiting for you in the Med Center Blue. Guard it, as you would the princess herself. No one must know of this mission. There are those among the trusted who would wish us ill. Take only 2 of your best officers with you, the most loyal. May the force of others be with you. Mother, you must not stay. I am too old for such a journey. The Empire already controls the spaceport cities. You have a long way to travel. It won't be easy.
We will have to travel in disguise. I must have full command. No one can suspect wealth or royal training. I fear the new queen will not stand for this.
Do not put words into my mouth. I will stand for what is necessary.
General simply smiles. Sub-hallway, underground fortress, Aquile. The general walks briskly through an isolated hallway, closely followed by Montrose.
How is Captain Whitson's recovery?
Very good. He's up and around.
Fine. Have Whitson and Starkiller report at 0300. I want 2 converted transports, agricultural type, 2 days provisions, travel papers, weapons. Contact Han Solo at the Gordon spaceport. I'll talk to him. With speed.
Montrose turns and rushes down another hallway. Medical Center Blue, underground fortress, Aquile. The general enters a stark white waiting area filled with scholarly-looking gentlemen. An attendant greets the General Skywalker and takes him into a small observation chamber overlooking a large operating theater. An elderly doctor greets him.
Oh, good to see you, General. I'm afraid we're not quite ready yet. Oh, thank God you'll be the one taking them, though.
An attendant brings in one of the scholars from the waiting area and places him on a large operating table surrounded by strange-looking equipment. An ominous-looking clamp is placed on the man's head.
How many are going? Oh, sorry.
You tell me how many are going.
33 of the greatest scientific minds in our system. A high price for freedom.
33 scientists. Transporting a group that size undetected. I don't...
Oh, don't worry, General. All you'll be taking are their minds.
The doctor moves over to a safe light cabinet guided by 2 attendants. The doctor gingerly picks up a small clear vial filled with gray fluid. This has a label which reads Fabun Astrodynamics. In the background, the scholar on the operating table is undergoing a form of mechanized brain surgery.
Lodore's distillation?
Yes, it's been greatly perfected. The brain is condensed into 5 ounces of fluid. Cloning cell samples are included so that a structural duplicate of the scientist can be reproduced. And when the duplicate child reaches the age of 6, he or she begins a series of injections of the brain fluid. And by the age of 10 years, they have received all the knowledge and memory of an experienced scientist. An old mind in a young body. Oh, we have prepared a special shock belt to carry the vials.
In the background, the limp body of the scholar is on the operating table is removed, and another scientist is escorted into the operating theater. Dr. Bloodore, a portly doctor in his 40s, enters the room and shakes hands with the general.
General, this is Dr. Bloodore. He'll be making the trip with you.
It's an honor to meet you, General. I'm sure I couldn't be in safer hands.
Drone companies are exacting a high price indeed. Politics will be the ruin of us all.
Careful, if we could rid ourselves of the politicians, generals would no longer be necessary.
We should be ready for 0300.
The doctors exit, leaving the general alone to watch the huge machine extract another brain. Spaceport, observation deck, Aquile. Governor Hodek, General Vader walk down a boarding ramp to an observation deck overlooking the conquered city of Gordon. They are followed by a number of aides and officers from the Imperial fleet. Below them, air tanks and other military equipment and supplies are being unloaded. My apologies.
Not much of a planet.
Darth, you've done well. Do you think you will have the royal family by nightfall?
An advanced expedition is already on its way to their underground hideaway. They should reach it by nightfall, but only if this Count Sandage can be trusted.
A man hungry for power can always be trusted. To betray those in power, I'm sure his information is correct. Hidden Fortress Canyon. The large rock face of the canyon opens, and two shabby agricultural land speeders, are pushed into the late afternoon sun. R2 and 3PO stand on the far side of the canyon, which their guards watching in amazement. The General and Captain Skykiller walk behind the men pushing the land speeders.
We'll take them with us. They know more about that fortress than any 10 men. They'll be very useful.
Can they be trusted?
Loyalty can't be programmed. They can be trusted never to harm a living creature, but to always give accurate information as they know it to anyone who asks. You just have to remember not to tell them anything that you don't want to fall into the wrong hands.
The General approaches the two robots. R2 shyly moves around his taller companion.
Greetings. I'm Luke, agricultural engineering. We're going to be traveling together. You're going with us to help us set a Hortus station on Banff.
3PO shakes hands with the General.
I'm C3PO, Human Cyborg Relations. Your kindness is greatly appreciated.
3PO and the General both look at R2. 3PO gives the smaller android a little kick.
R2D2, function repair, fusion repair.
Load them into one of the speeders.
Captain Whitson, walking with a slight limp, emerges from the underground fortress with the royal family. A small group of guards and aides are lined up, standing at attention. The two young princes, Biggs and Windy, hug and kiss their mother goodbye, then jump into the back of the larger four-man speeder. The princess bows before her mother, then embraces her. Tears roll down her cheeks. Her mother wipes them away.
You must learn strength.
The princess turns and moves to the larger speeder, where she is helped aboard by Captain Starkiller.
I don't need your help, thank you.
She gives the General an angry look.
I'm afraid he's necessary.
A commotion erupts at the mouth of the underground fortress. Count Sandage, several senators and 10 to 12 troopers rush into the canyon and block the speeders.
Where are you going? What is this?
In one quick movement, the General moves between Sandage and the Queen. Whitson and Starkiller assume defensive positions in front of the princess and her brothers.
Leia and the boys are being taken to safety. It is my wish.
The Empire has assured their safety. They must stay.
It is not my wish.
General, you've gone too far this time. Arrest him.
5 troops start to move on the General as Sandage draws his laser pistol. Before anyone can complete his actions, the General ignites his laser sword and cuts the senator in two. He drops to the ground in a heap, and then approaching troops stop in their tracks.
Stop this!
The General, Starkiller, and Whitson replace their swords and bow low to the Queen. All the troops, senators, and aides do the same. The formalness of the occasion is broken when the Queen embraces the General. She then turns and embraces each of the captains. They are both flustered and somewhat embarrassed.
May the force of others be with you.
The General and his captains head for the speeders, while the Queen and all the others return to the underground fortress. Desert Bluff, Aquila. The two speeders edge their way onto a bluff overlooking the hidden fortress canyon. They stop for one last reflective moment. Forced to leave their closest friends and relatives, the group is deeply moved. The two robots, for the most part, are puzzled. Suddenly, there's a huge atomic flash followed by a loud rumble, and the entire canyon collapses into a large crater. The group quietly watches the dust settle. The hidden fortress and all its inhabitants have been destroyed. The General watches the princess, who appears to take it well.
It was the only way we could be safe from treachery.
Dune Sea, Aquila.
And
that's
it's
me.
Dana's turn.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay. Dune Sea, Aquilai. The two sleek land speeders glide effortlessly through the vast hills and valleys of the Dune Sea. At the base of the towering dune ridge, the 4-man speeder stops. The smaller speeder with Starkiller and the 2 robots makes its way to the top of the ridge. Captain Starkiller stops the speeder just short of the top of the ridge. He gets out and continues the rest of the way on foot. The young captain peeks over the dune ridge into the canyon below. Muted sounds and large dust clouds rise from the canyon floor. Starkiller immediately ducks back behind the ridge with an amazed look on his face. He quickly returns to the speeder and picks up the intercom.
Sir, you'd better take a look at this, but come easy.
The 4-man speeder starts with a crack and slowly moves up the side of the imposing dune. It stops next to the smaller speeder. The general and Woodson get out and make their way to the top of the ridge where they join Starkiller. Far in the distance, crossing the endless dune sea, is the Imperial Invasion Army. It is immense. A convoy of giant tanks, troop carriers, and supply ships stretch from horizon to horizon. Cavalry mounted on giant dune birds ride the line from one end of the convoy to the other. Hundreds of troops ride one-man jet sticks in precision formation. Their lances form a giant pincushion. It is an awesome sight.
We're heading toward the fortress.
What will they do when they find it destroyed?
They won't stop looking for us. They're coming from the spaceport at Anchorhead, which means they control everything between here and the spaceport at Gordon.
Can we go around them?
No. We'll have to wait for them to pass. Starkiller, see if you can monitor any of their communications on the comlink in the big speeder.
Starkiller returns to the speeder. He collapses in the large speeder next to the princess and flips on the comlink radio, moving back and forth across the dial.
Must you do that?
Starkiller smiles rather sarcastically.
Orders. The invasion force has cut us off. We'll probably be here for some time. You want to stretch a bit.
Was that a command, General? Maybe I feel like watching after my brothers.
Starkiller looks back at the 2 sleeping boys.
They're not going anywhere. They're asleep.
I want to stay with them.
What's the matter? You afraid I might eat them?
Library, Palace of Light, Aquilay. The king's old library has been converted into an office for General Vader. He is sitting behind his desk as Prince Valorum, the Black Knight of the Sith, enters and salutes. The Black Knight is dressed in the fascist black and chrome uniform of the legendary Sith 100. The general returns his salute.
Welcome, Prince Valorum. Your exploits are legendary. I have long waited to meet a Knight of the Sith. If there is any way I can assist you, my entire command is at your bidding.
I want to tie into your computer network, a control center, and communication access.
Right away. I'll also transfer all information we have on the general. His command post was destroyed, but we believe he is still alive. Do you really believe he was a Jedi?
If he was not a Jedi, I wouldn't be here.
Wasteland, Aquilay. The speeders make their way across the gray desert. It is dawn. The twin suns have yet to rise over the distant hills. The speeders are coated with dust and grime, indicating that they have traveled far. The 2 captains drive through the night as everyone else sleeps. Starkiller calls Woodson on the intercom.
How are your fuel packs? I'm reading -4.
I'm too low to transfer any.
The general, who appeared to be asleep, opens his eyes and takes the microphone from Woodson.
There's a fuel station 14 degrees by 2 meters. The occupation force should have control of it by now, so hide your weapons, but keep them within reach.
Fuel station, Aquilay. A series of low concrete structures rise out of the desert. The speeders stop in front of an old weather-beaten blockhouse. The rusted hulk of a land speeder lies half buried to one side of the building. Starkiller and Woodson jump out of the speeder and go into the blockhouse. Interior fuel station, Aquilay. The 2 young captains, dressed as farmers, enter the dingy little fuel station. It is quiet. A few power packs line the walls, and a dismantled speeder rests in the repair bay. There is a sharp dripping sound coming from the speeder. It appears that no one is there.
Greetings! Who's in charge here?
They look around the deserted station but find no attendant. An eerie quiet pervades the building.
I don't get it.
You don't have to. It's abandoned.
Whitson opens a door leading to a storage area and stops short.
Not quite abandoned.
Starkiller moves to the doorway and sees the attendant, his wife, and small daughter hanging upside down, tortured to death. Whitson cuts them down.
They shouldn't have resisted.
Starkiller grabs 2 power packs from the shelf.
Help me with these power packs. We'd better move out of here.
Whitson covers the family with an old work tarp. He bows to the dead, then reluctantly grabs a couple power packs and they start for the door. Whitson stops for a moment.
Hear that? Someone's here. We're friends. Show yourself.
Silence. Whitson shrugs his shoulders and they start out the door, only to run straight into a burly stormtrooper.
Get out of here.
Fuel station Aquili. Whitson and Starkiller are pulled out of the doorway and shoved into the center of a group of 15 or 20 Imperial stormtroopers who have surrounded the 2 speeders. Several troops have pulled General Skywalker out of the speeder. He acts senile, like a man twice his age.
I'm all right. I can still move about by myself.
A rough-looking sergeant grabs Whitson.
What are you doing here?
We're out of power, sir.
Let me see your travel passes.
I have it here somewhere. We've been relocated to a Bantha Hoarder station by Imperial order.
Whitson fumbles to retrieve something from his pocket and eventually pulls out a small round disc. The sergeant puts the disc into a small portable reader. Various computer readouts are displayed on the monitor. Starkiller starts to put a power pack into one of the speeders.
What are you doing here? All power has been restricted.
General?
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed one. We've run out. We must have power or be forced to stay here and become your responsibilities.
The sergeant thinks about this for a moment as the old wise general watches him. Tension fills the air. Starkiller shuffles around to a position where he can reach his weapon. A trooper hands the sergeant a message.
Take only 2 of those power packs and then move out quickly.
The sergeant hurries to a military craft where he takes a call on an intercom. General Skywalker and his 2 young captains load the remaining power packs into the speeder and roar away from the station. Wasteland Aquili. The speeders race along through the rocky desert wasteland. The general speaks into the intercom to Starkiller.
Keep a close watch. If that sergeant runs an analysis on those passes, we might be seeing him again. We should be safely inside Gordon within the day.
Everyone is in good spirits. The princess and her young brother sing an Aquilian melody, which is transmitted to Starkiller in the smaller speeder. The general takes Little Windy and lets him sit on his lap in the forward compartment of the speeder. R2 flexes 3PO's arm back and forth, attempting to discover the cause of a loud squeak.
She seems to need to help at all.
It's
Remember, Tracy,
It's
please pay
this
attention.
and thus this environment is murderous.
Starkiller notices a small speck on the horizon.
Object approaching, bearing 3.2.
The general looks through an electro telescope mounted in the speeder. He spots a distant row of troopers riding strange dune birds.
General?
The patrol. It could mean trouble. We'd better split up. You stay on a direct course. We'll meet you at the western edge of ravine 2364. Stay in contact.
The larger speeder makes a sharp left turn, speeding off across a deep ravine. Starkiller can begin to distinguish the approaching troopers.
It looks like there's 10 of them. They're heading right for me. Wait a second. They've disappeared. I've lost them.
Continue on.
Wasteland Lakebed Aquili. Whitson deftly maneuvers the bulky speeder through a narrow, boulder-strewn ravine. They eventually come out on a dry lake bed where they stop. Standing not more than 100 feet away, apparently waiting for the speeder, are 5 Imperial troops on their Dune birds.
We found them. 5 of them anyway. Watch yourself.
The troops slowly ride their huge birds over to the speeder and dismount. The officer in charge is a vicious-looking warrior with a large scar across his face.
Let me see your passes.
Woodson hands him the small pass disc and he places it in his reader. He studies the computer readout for a few moments and then returns the disc to Woodson.
Have you seen any other transports in this area?
And we saw 2 heading south, going toward Ansel, looks like to me.
All right, be on your way.
The officer mounts his Dune bird and the patrol moves away. Woodson winks at the princess and smiles at the general as the speeder starts off across the dry lake. The general fiddles with the intercom.
S2, are you clear?
I have 5 troopers approaching. Any problems on your end?
We came through all right. You shouldn't have any trouble, but stay alert.
Best wishes. Here they come.
Everyone rides along in silence, a little worried about Starkiller, especially the princess.
Do you think he'll be all right?
He can take care of himself.
Biggs is looking out the back window of the speeder.
Hey, look, they're coming back.
Everyone looks to see the patrol quickly gaining on them.
Stop! They're faster. Get your weapon.
The speeder screeches to a halt in a cloud of dust. The general and his captain jump from the transport with laser pistols drawn. The patrol bears down on them, swords drawn at full charge. Both the general and Woodson fire. 2 of the troopers and their Dune birds explode in a cloud of smoke. The remaining 3 troopers are upon the duo in a matter of seconds. The general ignites his laser sword and cuts down 2 of the troops as they pass. The last turns his bird around before reaching the speeder and hightails it back towards the ravine. The general jumps onto one of the riderless Dune birds and takes off in pursuit. Woodson checks the dead troopers. Wasteland Ravine, Aqualai. The general rides at breakneck speed after the fleeing trooper. His laser sword is raised high over his head, ready to deal a death blow. The lumbering birds race through the winding ravine. Wasteland Ravine, Aqualai. The intercom warning buzzer begins to scream. Woodson rushes for it, but the princess gets there first.
Are you all right?
2 riders heading your way. I got 3, but 2 got away. Watch yourselves.
Wasteland Ravine, Aqualai. The general is riding neck and neck with the trooper. He swiftly brings his sword down and the trooper drops from his saddle. The momentum of his charge carries the general around a bend in the ravine and right into the path of 2 more troops charging down on him. The 2 troopers are taken by surprise. They stop their birds and so does the general. They stand there about 50 yards apart, sizing up each other. Suddenly, the 2 troopers start for the Jedi at full speed. The general raises his sword and starts for them. The troopers are no match for the general, who kills them both before they're even able to swing their swords. Wasteland Lakebed, Aqualai. Starkiller stops near the larger land speeder and gets out. He is wounded. Blood streams from his left arm. Woodson rushes to help him. The princess shows a great deal of concern.
It looks worse than it is. You'll be all right.
Woodson motions to the princess, who looks a little relieved.
Bring me the med-egg pack. If he was clumsy enough to get hurt, maybe we ought to let him bleed to death.
She hands Woodson a kit as the general rides up and dismounts. He moves to Starkiller.
You missed 2.
I know. I couldn't.
Don't let it happen again. You'd better move out. They might have reported in.
Control room, Palace of Light, Aqualai. The dark and sinister Valora moves several markers on a large map readout to form a line from the destroyed underground fortress to the spaceport at Gordon, and aid enters with General Vader.
The patrol was lost, sir. All 10 of them.
To be expected.
Have you found them?
They're heading for the spaceport at Gordon. I'm going there. Have all security doubled. Make it an alert.
The outskirts of Gordon, Aqualai. The speeders stop on a bluff overlooking a small cantina on the outskirts of Gordon. The spaceport can be seen in the distance. The general and Captain Woodson walk over to the smaller speeder. Starkiller helps the 2 androids out of their cramped quarters.
Your kindness is greatly appreciated.
I'm fit enough to.
The general gives him a hard look and he shuts up. Woodson and the general climb into the speeder.
We'll make contact at 0400. If we're not back by 5540, get worried.
The speeder starts off toward the cantina. Spaceport Cantina Aqualai. The speeder
And-
goes.
Oh,
That's our
and that's a
possibility.
wrap.
Sorry.
That's okay. And we're gonna heading toward a cantina, and we're gonna see Han Solo in the second half, but he'll look a little different. That's all I'll say.
I will.
Yay!
Yay.
Hey.
I'm gonna stop sharing the script here.
Yeah.
I was so excited about the cantina.
I know, and
I get there. It's something interesting.
I hated to cut you guys off, but the cantina
good.
will have some familiar scenes in it, although again modified somewhat. But yeah, there are some lines in the next scene that will be in the movie. So yeah, pretty interesting, huh?
Definitely interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah, I stand by what I always say. George Lucas is a great storyteller. He's not a good script screenwriter.
I really
I
love
mean,
to
he gave us Stan. I hate Stan. It get all over my feet. Yeah, that's what the screenwriter.
Thank you, everyone.
Well, I will see you.
Especially our new readers. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you so much for being here. Yay. Sorry I was a little late.
That's okay.
Um,
And I forgot to mention at the beginning for those of us who are new, but we do customarily do an optional discussion of the script afterwards if you want to hang around. If you have to go, well, that's perfectly okay too. But we'll probably
I have
take a
a
quick little break.
I have a lecture to deliver tomorrow
Okay.
to my old high school and the kids in the drama department. So
Awesome.
and
Oh, fun.
I'm exhausted. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take off as well. But yeah, it's good to read Star Wars. My birthday's on Star Wars, so it's really fun.
Cool.
yeah,
So,
that's
Star
that's
Wars
kind
Day.
of a mix. That's kind of a mixed day. I mean, Audrey Hepburn's birthday is that day.
Oh,
And-
May 4th. May 4th
Yeah.
as well. She's
and
born.
it's
That's
also
right.
the
Okay.
anniversary. It's also the anniversary of Kent State.
Ah,
Yes.
that's so cool.
But
Didn't know
Audrey,
that.
you
Fort
you
Denton,
were thought
Ohio.
of when we
I saw that.
did this show or picked this show. You and me. And
Yay! That's right. That's right. Because it's also your
That's
birthday. It's
so
also Vicky's
sexy.
birthday. We have the same
Yes.
birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Happy belated
happy-
birthdays
happy-
to you.
Aw.
Happy belated birthdays to you.
Well,
Happy
happy
belated birthdays, Vicky and Aubrey.
Woo!
Happy belated birthdays to you.
I hope you both had plenty of cake.
My birthday is next
I'd lo-
week.
I'd love to
13.
stay, but I'm gonna have a warm, intimate relationship with the inside of my eyelids. Good night, everybody.
Ah, very
Good night,
nice.
I need
Good
to go to
night.
bed
I'm gonna get
myself
going as
too.
well.
Because
So
I have having a
JC,
cold,
will-
so I need to get
I
some
will.
rest.
I will participate in the discussion next week, but because there's a lot I want to say. But
Would you like some virtual flowers and a heart?
I would love virtual flowers in the heart. Thank you. And
Have a
give
good
them
night,
to
guys.
Vicky
I
too
really
because it's her birthday. Good night.
Good night.
Good
Let me
night.
get some rest. I sadly won't be here next week due to I have another event going on Tuesday night,
Alright.
but beyond the one after, whatever you guys do next after Star Wars.
All right, Chris, thank you.
Awesome.
JC, you had something to say?
I need thank you for having me on this vid, and I really love to play many minor roles, including C-3PO. And I need to go now too, and I'm willing to participate in the second half.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
also to my friends there, to my fellow participants there, if you want to connect with me, if you are not my friends, you can add me on Facebook, JC Gomez. Yes,
No
thank
worries.
thank you. And also I want to tell you that next week is my birthday, May 14. I'm turning
Aw.
Very
20.
nice.
Aw.
Very nice. All right, I've got to go. Bye.
All right. Good night,
Bye.
Aubrey. Good night, JC.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye now. I need to go.
All right. And anyone want to take a quick little break and get a drink of water and then come back and discuss the script? Or you want to jump right into it?
Getting tired.
I know. It's okay. You can pop out when you need to. So I was looking through the script iterations. There's a list of them online, and so this one was called the Star Wars, and the first this is the rough draft, May 1974. July, it was still called The Star Wars. And then January 28th, 75, it became The Adventures of Starkiller, Episode 1, The Star Wars.
Oh my.
And then in August of 75, it became The Star Wars from the Adventures of the Starkiller, third draft. And then it became The Adventures of Luke Skywalker as taken from the Journal of the Whills, Saga 1, The Star Wars. Oh my God, how long is that, right? And then and then the next draft was the same title as that, The Adventures of Luke Starkiller as taken from the Journal of the Whills, Saga 1, The Star Wars. But that last draft, the revised fourth draft from May 15, 1976, keeping in mind the movie came out in 77, he had a lot of editing help from two uncredited authors, Gloria Katz and her husband, William, I'm not sure how to pronounce it exactly, Huyck, Huyck, but Katz and Huyck were credited with they wrote American Graffiti, Indiana
Oh.
Jones and Temple of Doom, Howard the Duck,
Oh, wow.
and something called Night Ride Down, which was unproduced. So they had some good script writing credits under their belt as well. The husband also wrote Lucky Lady, Radioland Murders. And so they had a lot of influence on episode 4, A New Hope, especially with creating the character and with adding humor in and improving the character of Princess Leia. So
Well, is nobody like I noticed somebody typed it in the chat. It's like nobody bothered that the queen just pretty much offed herself with no thought to anything, and Leia just had like no reaction. She's just like, all right, life goes on.
yeah, there was a lot of loss and death and no reaction. I mean, you know,
It's
even
like a freaking ant colony. Like an ant dies, they go on.
yeah, you know, even the 10-year-old Deke Starkiller that dies right in the beginning, right? And they just keep on going.
Like they literally,
Yeah.
like
Well,
a child died for
Bitch.
God's sake, and they're like not sad at all. They're like, okay, let's go home.
Cain did cry. Cain did
Mhm.
hold him.
Yep.
Yeah, but the 18-year-old was like, okay, can we go? Like, what is wrong with people?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you could say they were extremely stoic, but yeah, there was definitely a lot of loss there that wasn't really addressed, for sure. So,
Yeah.
other thoughts?
Like, I mean, in the actual movie, Luke cried more for his aunt and uncle and for Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
And his uncle was strict with him, but he still cried for them.
Did you catch that name that was mentioned in the script too? They mentioned Lars. It's the name of that's the name of his uncle in the movie. And, you know, he was just mentioned in passing near the beginning of this script as a counselor who was somewhat problematic and might be, you know, difficult to work with in taking over the government. But yeah, I love the fact that so many of these names that we know are in this script, but they completely have different characters attached, you know, like
Yeah.
Biggs. Biggs is one of the rebel pilots. Here he's Princess Leia's little brother.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the part that we read, the half that we read,
Mm-hmm.
did anyone have any character growth whatsoever?
That's a good question.
Because when you look at Luke Skywalker that we're used to, you know, he starts off as this firm boy who doesn't know anything, and then he goes off to adventure, and then it gets scary, but he becomes a hero in the end. Like, he has the whole hero's journey. And this, it felt like a bunch of, I couldn't even tell for a while who was the protagonist. I guess it's Starkiller. It was just a bunch of stuff happening.
I know. I had a hard time when I looked through the script to divide it into act and scenes because I'm like, where is the normal progression of, you know, the action kind of builds up and then it gets suspenseful and then there's a tragedy and then it, you know, it's like, where do I cut these scenes off? Because I don't see it. You're right. It's a good observation.
Yeah, it really needed refinement, like big time. It was still fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it went a long way. And what we saw for the first movie, yeah, way different.
Yeah.
And no aliens yet.
Yeah.
We will have some in the second half. I don't know
Mhm.
how many, but we'll have at least one or two.
They put like most of this plot into like the first episode 1, it seems. Like the coup.
Oh, the Empire taking over the last portion of the galaxy.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not started as a fully fleshed empire for sure.
Yeah.
It's mostly there, but they still have to conquer Alderaan and Aquilay.
Mhm.
Like it was literally, they took over in episode 1, they literally took over Naboo, and like the Senate and the government did nothing about it.
Yep.
But I'm just the geek
Yeah.
who watches all the sequels, and I think my dad did too. I kind of like sci-fi because he was very much into that. Like in the Stargate, Star Trek, Star Wars, yeah. Just a lot. Apparently we watched Next Generation as a family when I was just a little kid, but I don't remember.
I do like the fact though that C-3PO and R2-D2, even though R2 talks and doesn't just beep and whistle, are still, not quite fleshed out all the way, but they're more like themselves, I think, than any other characters
Mhm.
in this
Yeah.
script so far.
Well, do you remember the origin of our 3PO? He was actually built by Anakin in the movies, and
Mm-hmm.
he was mind wiped in episode 3 so he wouldn't blab everything.
Yeah, there's no origin story for either of them here. And certainly they haven't come to any sort of prominence whatsoever. We just we know they're there and we recognize them because we've seen the movies, but
Yes.
they don't seem to have any purpose so far yet in this version.
Yeah.
Other than
I
the
mean-
fact that, we get the hint that, they know something about this flying space fortress, which I think they've mentioned Death Star one time later in the script, but I don't think they've said it at all here.
They had to have put part of that whole knowledge of a fortress or whatever in the sequel trilogies, because there's a part of the sequel trilogies where R2's actually shut off and he has part of a map inside of him. And I think they took that from this and put it over there.
Possibly. I mean, there's so much in this script that filters out through all of the prequels, the sequels, and the spin-off shows,
Yeah,
You can
like
see
Luke did a 180. If you've seen it, Luke did a 180 and the map to Luke was in R2, but R2 wouldn't wake up.
So, yep. He's got a lot of
I'm
lot going on here in his head.
Hyper fixated, y'all. I'm a hyper fixated nerd, and I'm not going to apologize for that.
The robots have a lot.
Big guy. You know what? I have something to show you.
While she's getting that, what were you going to say, Vicky?
The robots, their importance was really Princess Leia recording her help, and that was so important in the first movie.
Oh yeah.
So that change, that progress in the script, yeah, that was really important. And they were more kind of like a comedic element,
Oh yeah.
in this script, and I enjoyed them. And part of it was the readers we had. It was really cute. She's back.
There's something blue and white.
Oh,
Look at your little
Aw.
R2.
This,
Oh,
Yes.
that's lovely.
they were selling him at The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh.
So I bought him.
Oh,
That's
I'm
lovely.
pretty tired. I'm gonna have to run,
All right,
guys. This
Katie.
was so much fun.
Thanks.
I'm
was
so glad
fun.
that I'm so
I
glad
hope
that
you
I'm
join
this.
us.
Want to
again.
join us next
I'll
week?
do
I'm
my
going to put
best.
another
Yeah.
event page up, and you can just mark yourself as going. And then we'll probably have some more rules next time because new readers sometimes get us bit better smaller parts at the beginning, just because I don't know if you're even going to show up. But once you show
Yeah.
up, then you're game for anything. So
And one more
Yeah.
thing
Game
before
anything.
This photo, this portrait, I don't remember where I've got it, but this is actually an older version of the Star Wars.
Oh, nice.
I think it's from a first star.
You have it in the packaging.
Yes, I do, because it's more valuable. Not that I'll ever sell it.
I find that part of collectibles ridiculous. If a child is given a doll, the child is going to play with it, and it's like, well, this is worth nothing now because you played with it. Well, fine then.
That's why it's on a shelf where children cannot reach. I love children, but they don't get to play with this. I will let them play with my lightsabers. I have lightsabers, and I will get more.
Yeah.
what do you think, Paul?
Oh, I enjoyed this. You know, that characters and being so different. I noticed that, yeah, Chewie supposedly was one of the pilots, and he gets killed.
Yeah, he's
So,
not even a Wookiee.
he's not even a Wookiee, apparently. Yeah. And,
We
Oh.
will see Wookiees though in the second half.
oh, will we? Okay.
We will. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Darth Vader, well, he didn't seem nearly as sinister as he ultimately becomes, you know, and he doesn't seem to have any Jedi powers like he does in the original movie when he gets the guy gagging
Yeah,
and all.
force choke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, and the closest physical, character to Darth Vader would have been Kane Starkiller because he had all those wires and the
oh,
chest
yeah,
piece.
that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, there's obviously a lot going on between these. I wish I could, would love to see the in between iterations to see how it progressed all the way through before, we got the very early and we've seen the very last, but we haven't seen the 5 middle ones where he's made changes and then changes and then changes again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To see when is it that he decided that Anakin and Darth Vader are the same person,
Right.
Right. Yeah.
and when did he decide to make Luke Skywalker the kid and not the general?
Not the jet. Yeah, I know that
Yeah.
was such a change.
Huge.
Luke as Scott as an older general. I know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
don't know if you read,
1, 2,
I think
3,
it was
4,
today or
5.
in the last few days, that George Lucas was literally talking about, and Disney was also talking maybe about scrapping the sequel to a trilogy from history and rewriting it.
With the whole thing again.
Oh Lord.
Because, it wasn't popular to focus on the big three, but that's kind of impossible now since one of them is no longer around. They should have done that in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it looks like from here, Luke became the name of the main character in 1976, but his last name was still Starkiller at the time.
Starkiller.
Yeah, Luke Starkiller instead of Anakin Starkiller. So, yeah. But all of
I
these
guess-
draft scripts were leaked out, so they're out there somewhere. The only thing that's not available is that original Journal of the Wills, that 1.5-page partial outline.
Yeah, the outline.
I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
that
not
outline's not available, but everything else has been leaked out. So they're out there somewhere.
Gosh, it was fun. I hope I get to do the same things next week. I love villainies. It's fun, especially sci-fi villainy.
Well, I remember when I saw the first one in the movie theater, I was about seven months pregnant with my first child.
Oh,
I was gonna say
okay.
you weren't 7, but no, 7 months pregnant. That makes more sense.
7 months pregnant with my first child. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I loved the movie. It was exciting. And it was in a theater in Calgary, and the screen was
Oh, one of those big ones.
Yeah, and it
Mhm.
was in a half circle almost. It was so it really made the beginning, the words, very, very cool.
Yeah.
And the troopers flying their star crafts. That was amazing. So yeah, I'll never forget seeing that movie in the theater.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Vicky, you
being
had to go
so
all the way
big.
to Calgary to see it. I mean,
She
I
lives in
lived
Canada.
there. I lived there at the time. Yeah.
oh, okay.
I'll have to ask my mom what her experience was because she lived in the States and she lived in Spokane, I think, at the time. And I think, yeah, she might have wanted to see it probably.
I saw it in 1977. I was 6 years old, and I remember the first thing, and the only thing I remember from the first time I saw it was when Darth Vader and the stormtroopers came onto Leia's ship at the beginning. And you don't see it these days, but if you find an unrevised digital copy, an old film version, you can see one of the stormtroopers come in, and he hits his head on the entrance as he comes in. He's like bang, because of the the like submarine kind of entrances,
Yeah.
Funny.
and yeah, but they don't they fix that in the remastered
Ah,
version, so you don't see it anymore. But I remember that, and then Darth Vader came on with his
yeah.
and I was like, oh my god, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Seriously, right? I don't remember the rest of the movie at all. From that particular memory, but that Darth Vader was so scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
What?
see it consequently several more times. I've seen it over 50 times now. But when I was in
Yeah.
college, I had a friend from overseas. He grew up not in the States, and he had never seen the movies before. And he'd been so isolated from the thing. We watched all three together. And, when we get to the scene in the third movie where he's like, that's his father?
Yeah,
He
right?
didn't know. He had no idea and was like watching the whole movie all over again.
Yeah.
It was so cool. But yeah, you don't find that it's really hard to find that experience again.
I can do it. Luke, I'm your father.
Oh,
Nice.
like I think I was in college. I dressed as like Padme and Leia for Halloween.
At the same time.
In one for the day at school and one for a dance at night. And yeah, I have the hair and I pretty much look ageless. I look about the same that I did in 2010. So yeah, so I have the pictures. I put them on my Instagram. I think Vicky might have seen them.
Yes, I did.
My mom helped me with the buns, but I can do them myself now. And yeah, I'm probably never gonna cut this hair. Yeah, I enjoy cosplaying it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and I got my little Ewok.
Oh, there you
outfit,
go.
Get the
Cute.
Oh,
little, get the little hair out everywhere.
when Star Wars when the first movie came out, I was a study abroad student in Austria,
Oh.
and we got a Newsweek that had been, I guess, was a European edition that talked about the movie. But I did see it when I got back to the States in that summer of 1977. But I think during the time I was there, I don't think it had come into at least Austrian theaters yet. So
Right.
I'm sure it did, but at a later time.
Yeah.
Getting tired. I think
I was
well,
looking at some notes here too. I don't know if you ever watched, if you watch the credits of some of these movies, you can see sometimes you get some information on some of the other script writers on here. And one name I want to mention that no one knows a lot about, probably, unless you're a diehard fan, which in case you probably do, but Leigh Brackett, known as the Queen of Space Opera, was one of the most prominent female writers during the golden age of science fiction, according to Wikipedia here.
Golden
She
age.
did, yeah, she worked on a really early draft of The Empire Strikes Back.
Ah, okay.
And elements of her writing continued into the film, but unfortunately, she died before it became into production, and
Ah.
so her replacement that George hired was Lawrence Kasdan.
Oh,
who
Lawrence
was-
Kasdan. Interesting.
got
Yes.
the names. I know it's a.
I think he directed a movie called a western called Silverado that had John Cleese on a small part in it, as I recollect. Came out in 1984 or so.
Yeah, Lawrence Kasdan.
If they choose to make new Star Wars movies, a new trilogy, I wouldn't say no to audition to do it if you're listening. Because I'm ageless and I'm happy to even take a small part. That would be a dream. It would inspire children and families, and that's one of the things.
So yeah, Lawrence Kasdan, Raiders of the Lost Ark, is the scriptwriter for.
Okay.
As well as The Bodyguard. He also, when he'd finished Empire, wrote Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, and Solo. So he's done a lot of. You can see his name in the credits. Next time you watch the credits, look for Lawrence Kasdan.
Okay.
I don't think Leigh Brackett is going to be in those credits at all.
Yeah.
Did
She
he do
deserves it.
Rogue One?
Was that?
Did he do-
Rogue One? No, it's not on this list.
Oh God, Rogue One was absolutely.
Rogue One was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
sure who
didn't
wrote
think
Rogue
Solo,
One.
though.
I'd
I
have to
found
look it up.
weird. I found Solo weird, but Rogue One was just, it was the saddest thing. I was crying by the end of that.
Well, and of course the ending of Rogue One, which if you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it. But it is the most amazing ending ever. So, definitely go watch it if you haven't seen it, Paul.
Yeah, I will.
It really shows the flaws in the systems that try to do good in the world.
Rogue One was written by Chris Weitz and Tony Gilroy.
Okay.
Chris Weitz also wrote. He also worked on American Pie and The Golden Compass, Disney's Cinderella, Disney's the screenplay live adaptation screenplay.
Oh, Rodgers and Hammerstein or the modern?
No, the 2015.
Oh.
And Tony Gilroy.
I didn't like that adaptation. I like the
And Tony Gilroy too. I had to look down and see. Oh, there's a lot here, and I can't filter it out in time to make it.
Yeah.
But he's got a big old page there.
Oh, it's been a long day, hasn't it?
Yep. So if you're still out watching there in YouTube land, do come join us next week, because the second half, again, is very different from the first half, even. So we'll get to a lot more we'll flesh this story out a little bit more, and I can't wait till you guys realize what Han Solo looks like in the second half. So he doesn't look the way he does in the movie. just a little teaser there. So
the four of us will be there next week, right?
I am planning on being back next week. So
All
I mean,
right.
this is my first time with this particular group tonight, but
Yeah.
I want to
Hopefully
be back.
Hopefully I
Next
get to be Anakin and Valorum again, because that's rocked.
well, we'll see how many what characters show up in the second half. So I have to
Yeah.
finish counting the lines still. But,
Yeah.
There's
And
one thing about The Empire Strikes Back that my daughter, when my daughter got married 16 years ago, she and her husband had as the procession to be played at the end of the wedding ceremony when they walk out. They had the Empire Strikes Back main tune played on the organ, and it actually sounded pretty good on the organ.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, it did.
oh, here it is. I just found it. Tony Gilroy from the Rogue One. He also wrote Born Identity series. The first one was Supremacy, The Ultimatum, so 3 of them, and Legacy, and Michael Clayton, and Duplicity. So he was a big sci-fi writer too, from this more science fiction part versus the more fantasy part. And was also the creator, showrunner, head writer, and executive producer of Andor on Disney Plus. So, yeah.
Especially if I want to get cast for Star Wars someday, I should do my homework.
Mm-hmm. Well, you two missed a really nice reading of the Star Wars Shakespeare last Saturday.
Yeah.
That we read with Two Households in Fair
Oh
Corona.
gosh, that was so fun.
Yeah, yeah. Heather was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Vicky
Yeah,
missed it.
Vicky, you missed,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
It was incredibly fun.
oh
And it
yeah,
was really, really long though, because Ian Dosher showed up halfway through
yeah.
the playwright, and we had a chance to talk with him. So that was
Yeah.
really cool.
We went about with that. We went about 4 hours.
4.5. It was 4.5.
Normally we're done in my
In three.
time so a little before 8 o'clock.
Mhm.
Which, for you guys in Alberta, that's 7 p.m. Of course, you had at 6, but it was after 9 my time when we finished up. So
4.5 hours.
Yeah, I got to play Darth Vader.
Yeah.
yes, you did. You did a good job with that too.
Thank you.
You were a great Darth Vader.
You know, like playing Sith characters is absolutely fun because, you know, I had like literally when I went to watch The Rise of Skywalker in the theater, I was there opening day at the first showing. Don't ask me why I was that freaking crazy, but I showed up in this with the hood up, red lightsaber, had a nice little lightsaber fight in the hallway. Security just made fun of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Well, on that note, let's call it a night because I know I haven't had dinner yet, and the
Me
kitties
too.
haven't had dinner yet, and so.
Oh, good Lord, Kat, you haven't eaten?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't eaten
God.
yet. I know.
Okay, so
I had a
Neither
few
have I.
snacks.
you know what? Happy Revenge of the 5th Day, y'all. May the force be with you.
May the Force be with yes.
I made myself Swedish meatballs yesterday and mashed
Oh.
potatoes. I'm
Cool.
excited. I have leftovers.
Good
Well,
Lord,
I'll
I'm
have to
surprised.
change my usual
Shall I
ending greeting
serenade
though.
us out?
All right.
Da, da, da,
May the
da.
force of others be with you. Good
Right?
night, you all.
Oh my.
Bye.
Well, good night, all.
May the force be with you.
May the Force be with you. Yes.
Good night, YouTube people.
Happy Revenge of the 5th.
Oh yes.
Right. And